All right, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody listening to this live broadcast on my channel, basically,
Here we go. Third
you're
world
gonna hear,
noises.
you're gonna hear what you're
Children,
gonna hear.
dogs,
Yeah, what you're gonna
The
hear
ghost.
is a
pots and
bunch of people
pans,
screaming in the background.
some random language. You don't know what they're saying.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, man. It's okay. We understand.
I
It
had that
adds
on my
some
last one.
flavor, man.
It's the chili. It's
Usually
the
it's
chili in the
MGTOW
sauce.
Expat with the noises of the third world, but we got some diversity in this group today.
Yeah, exactly. So
We got
anybody
four
listening
people
now?
in four different locations.
Yeah, three continents.
You
No,
gotta love
two
it.
continents, three
Two.
countries. We got Canada,
No,
United States,
four countries.
four
Four
countries,
countries.
Four
two continents.
countries,
Two
one
continents.
expat,
Yeah,
one recovering expat. Oh, two recovering expats.
yeah, that's right. And a guy that's still living over there. So basically, anybody that's listening now to my channel, I don't know how many people we might get on here because I don't do a lot of videos anymore. My channel's half dead, but at the point. But I just want you to know that this is still a MGTOW chat. However, I'm not. Everybody I'm talking to is not MGTOW, and we're going to have some conversations that might go outside of that realm. So the first thing I want to do with you guys is I want to talk to Hambali, if you don't mind. Hambali, are you there?
Yes.
Now, I want you to try to tell the story of how you were once a staunch anti-feminist, but then turned around and became a feminist. And remember, this is coming from an Indonesian male who's living in Indonesia right now. So please go ahead.
Okay. So where do I start? I think 2 years ago I was still an anti-feminist and an MRA, and I kind of like sidetracked to being MGTOW because the MRA scene seemed kind of I don't know, toxic. Because
Okay.
usually yeah, usually I come into these groups, and I'm like really looking for ways to change the system. I mean, uh, the usual, suicide and all that. But every time I come into these groups, it's just the same old. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same old complaining and whining, and there's nothing getting done there. So I kind of got sick of that. So I went into MGTOW. I mean, like, if I can't change the system, then who knows? I can just change myself. So that was one reason why I got into MGTOW.
Okay, that's a good
And
point.
yeah,
Let me
okay,
just interrupt you for a second. That's a great point what you just said. Now, you guys have to remember, this guy is an Indonesian male, young Indonesian male, and he speaks very good English. And he's starting to understand these concepts from the West of men, MRAs, and MGTOW. He approaches MRAs first. He finds it toxic, and he realizes I can't change the world, so I'm going to change myself. Correct?
yes.
Yes. So then you approach MGTOW. So what turns you off of MGTOW after that?
I actually, you can say that I'm not entirely not MGTOW. I still am. I mean, like, what is the philosophy of MGTOW is betterment of yourself and not depending on others, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, if that's the philosophy of MGTOW, then you could still say I'm still a MGTOW, even if some MGTOW would say that you don't date women, but I'm dating someone right now.
You're dating
But
someone. Yep.
yeah, I'm dating someone. Yeah, but at the core philosophy of MGTOW is um, challenging yourself to beyond your own limits. Then I guess I still fall under that category. But if not, then well, it's just labels, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. MGTOW at its core really is a philosophy of individualism, bettering yourself, and trying to push away the constructs that kind of keep you into a role, right? Now, but
Yes,
again, a role as a male.
yes,
It always there's that differentiation between sexes, men and female. Now, you as a I mean, you understand the MGTOW philosophy to a certain degree, and you accept it to a certain degree. But what have you told your girlfriend anything about these things?
Um, I think my girlfriend. I mean, before we met, uh, it's kind of a long story. Maybe if I can delve into it a bit.
Yes.
Before I came into the feminism scene, I was just someone who wanted to learn more about things and try new experiences. And during one of those endeavors, I came across this discussion group, and that was where I met a lot of new people, leftists, Marxists, feminists, and all those kind of stuff. At first,
Hmm.
it was kind of scary, but as I got to know them as people, yeah, we share our ideas. Of course, there was a bit of contempt for me in the first place because they knew on Facebook that I'm an anti-feminist and all the things that I shared were bashing feminism and yeah and the regular stuff. Yeah, but as time went by, I got closer to them and yeah, I kind of got to know a few girls and basically one of them became my girlfriend. And yeah, I think she knows that I was an anti-feminist before, and usually she just tucks that under the carpet and she just doesn't talk about it. But she knows that I was an anti-feminist before.
And would you say she's a feminist though?
She is a feminist, of course. She's a feminist. She's a
Jeez,
feminist before I was.
good luck with
Since
that, man.
she, yeah, it has its challenges, but I think I can live with it.
Okay, so now you guys, as far I've got Nick and I've got Expat here. Um, you've heard again. This is a good friend of mine, not that I met in person, but I've known online. Um, you heard his say, Nick. What do you have to say about that?
I think he's hit a lot of things over the head. He's seeking more individualism. I guess he likes, I guess, what America is supposed to stand for. I mean, he lives in a very conservative country and stuff, so he's trying to identify
Yeah.
with other walks of life.
Okay, good point because um, you have to understand. Um, look, Hambali, I lived in your country for 13 years, and it's very conservative.
Yes.
It's very conservative and it's very traditional, man woman roles. In fact,
Yes.
it's so traditional that when a man and a woman who have children break up, what generally happens is the man sort of just walks away from all responsibility. He just hands it over to the woman, and it's like this is the way it's supposed to be
Where
Yeah.
is that?
in Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah, in Indonesia. He's in Indonesia. He's in Jakarta right now. I just
Yeah.
found out tonight that he was my fucking neighbor, and I never knew it. But
I just couldn't tell if you were talking about America or Indonesia when you said that. But yeah, I
oh
get it.
yeah,
I'm following you.
yeah.
Okay.
No, America obviously is a whole different pot of shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Indonesia, uh, really the way men and women relate and the culture and the construct of it all is very traditional. It's very conservative. Just like Nick said, it's very conservative. And here you have Hambali trying to figure out a way to go beyond that, right?
Yes.
So Hambali, did you get beyond that?
Well, pretty much. How do I put it? Based on what I've learned from the past 2 years, I can say I'm pretty liberated. There are a few setbacks, like knowing these new things. I mean, like it gives me more problems because you realize things that weren't there in the first place. Yeah, but most part of it, my life is yeah better, I guess.
It's better because you understood these concepts, or
Yes.
it's better because you have a girlfriend.
I don't know how to answer
Right.
that. I don't know how to answer that.
You can't answer that. Okay.
I can't answer that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair
Well,
enough.
how
But
old are you?
I'm 29. I just turned 29 last month.
Well, you're
Same
not.
age.
That's no spring chicken. I mean, I'm 29.
He's 29 and he's got a girlfriend now. So
In the world of sports, you're kind of at your peak and about to go over the hill, right?
absolutely.
I mean, that's 20. That's 29. I mean,
Well,
Is that a bad thing?
no, not at all. From a bird's eye view, Indonesia, I really don't know anything about Indonesia, honestly, but from a bird's eye view, it seems like it's got a good mix of conservative values, but not, but also a little bit of a liberal element to it, just
definitely.
from what people have told me.
Yeah. Hey, Hambali, I think that what Nick just said is pretty accurate. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's on the surface, it seems like a conservative country, but there are layers underneath that. Yeah, there's a lot of liberalism here also. Yeah, basically
Well, it's
that.
Southeast Asia. At the end of the day, it's Southeast Asia. It's
Yeah,
just, you're
yeah,
obviously going to have a bit of a blend with what Thailand and Cambodia has and Malaysia, with some, some I don't want to say biblical, but some religious, a more religious, more conservative, more moral society versus Thailand and Cambodia. I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I would agree. And it's funny because I think I might have mentioned this before the last time we talked, but all of the countries, almost every country you just mentioned, all share the same Independence Day, or very, very close. It's all in August, and it all comes around the time that Japan was bombed by the Americans. The moment Japan was bombed by the Americans, every one of those countries raised their fist in the air and said, "We are independent now."
Well,
There's
not Thailand.
Hey Nick,
no, not Thailand, but Philippines.
Nick,
Yeah, go on.
we have a different Independence Day in Cambodia, right? Do you remember? Lamprey?
What is it?
I don't remember the date,
It was
honestly.
a
November.
it was like a few.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like
Independence
November. Yeah.
So what was the cause of the Cambodian independence?
French?
Nothing. Just the
Or
French pulling out, pretty much. There was no war or anything like that.
The French pulling out,
and Vietnam helped them, right?
going in raw, and then pulling out.
Well, when the French pulled out of Vietnam, it automatically liberated Cambodia at the same time. I think it was like 53. I think 1953 or 1954.
Yeah. So
and went to shit
there's a little
about
bit
10 years later.
Yeah, there's a little differences in some of those countries, but when you go to the Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, who else? There's maybe a couple other countries, but it was all liberated by the Americans. We liberated them all because we dropped the bomb on Tokyo, or not Tokyo,
America.
Hiroshima.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a gray area after World War II. I mean, then there was a bit of a power vacuum for the region, and then obviously the Soviet Union got involved. They started flexing muscle, and then America started flexing muscle, and
Well,
it's
the independence of Indonesia was what is it, Hambali? The 18th of August? No,
17.
17th. Sorry, 17th of August.
Yeah.
And I think Singapore is almost the same date. It's not the exact same
Singapore
date.
was just before. Singapore is 9th of August.
9th of August. So you got the 9th of August. You got the 17th of August. Philippines. What was the Philippines?
I have no idea.
It's in August. It's in August. It's within 2.5 weeks, man. I mean, it's not an accident. It's funny because America's independence is completely unrelated to some kind of event like that, like some overreaching, changing event. But these countries that every one of us either live in now or have lived in, their independence is really dependent on these other superpowers sort of deciding to let them be independent.
But did we let them be independent? That's the great question. It was Indonesia liberated because you have to understand that Kissinger got involved in Indonesia, and that led to the war in East Timor, which was pretty horrible.
Oh, fucking horrible.
obviously a lot of the corporations love Indonesia because how much rubber they supply and our heavy dependence on automobiles throughout the 70s and 80s and even to this day.
Yeah, it's not independence. It's a false independence. Like Hambali, do you agree with that? That Indonesia's independence is kind of a false independence.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, even in Papua, it's still a conflict going on right now to this day. I mean, it's been a long time.
So
Well,
because I mean,
Indonesia is kind of one of those countries that's in the background. I mean, they have a lot of muscle. I mean, Indonesia is a country you don't want to mess with. They have a pretty serious military. They have a strong special forces. It definitely is a. I would definitely say out of the Southeast Asian countries, I would actually consider them the strongest militarily wise. Vietnam's not what they used to be, even though we like to, think of Vietnam as some type of superhero. They got, I call them. They've won like 4 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? They
yeah.
defeated France, defeated America, invaded Cambodia, defeated the Chinese. They had a famine in 1944 and 45 when the Japanese was there. But no one really talks about Indonesia. It's kind of a forgotten country to the west.
It is, but you're right. The military is very strong, and it's very loyal. Like it's very loyal. I mean, if you want to talk about military presence in accordance to just media today, we have the Americans deciding whether or not guys that want to get their dicks chopped off can pick up a gun. Yeah, that's not going to happen in Indonesia.
No.
That's not going to happen. I had.
I don't think it would happen in any of those countries, to be honest with you. I don't think any country in Southeast Asia is willing. I mean, they love bribes, they love corruption, but they don't sell their own country out for profit. I don't think.
No, and Hambali, close to where we were in Kabagusan, there was the big military base there. It's in the middle of town. What's that area again? Like I used to live right next to it.
Ragunan.
Yeah,
Ragunan.
Yeah, Ragunan, next to Ragunan.
Yeah.
The huge military base there, man.
Yeah.
Huge military, and these guys don't understand that there was a huge military base in the middle of the fucking city. Like it's not out somewhere.
Indonesia military, or like U.S. embassy or some shit.
No, Indonesian military, TNI. It was the TNI. That's what they call it. And this is the Indonesian military, huge military base, right in the smack dab in the middle of South Jakarta. Hambali, correct?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that place yet, but there is signs of military. I'm not sure if it's military base or military residences for the officers.
It's not just residence.
Okay.
I used to drive through it every day. I used to drive through it every day from work to
someone's
home.
breaking up.
Hello?
All right, you're all right.
Everybody okay?
Yep. I didn't hear anything.
Okay. All right, keep going.
Yeah, I used to drive through the military base every day because it was a shortcut. But it's really lax. I mean, he's right. It is residence, but they have weapons on site. I mean, it is basically a military base, even though it's residence. And it's in the middle of the city. Like you would never see that shit in Canada or America. You would never see that.
Lamprey, in Phnom Penh, you see soldiers walking around with rifles, don't you? In Phnom Penh.
Well, right? Yeah, those are the I forget it's a French word. It's like a military police, like a federal police force, but they're they're just there for show. They don't really do much.
I actually never saw that much, but I guess a lot of people can see that every day, but I wasn't.
I saw it during the election. There was a lot more of them, and they get brought in when there's a lot more serious things going down. If there's heavy traffic or it's a holiday, they seem to have a much bigger presence.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, Hambali,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that your views to this point are going to maintain to be feminist? And is that
pretty much.
Is that an influence from your girlfriend or no?
No, I dated my girlfriend. I got these views before I dated her, so it's not. It's definitely not her.
So what happens if she hears this podcast? Is she going to dump
No,
you?
she knows I'm in this podcast. That's the reason why I got kicked out of the room. Yeah, she said, yeah, go outside. I don't want to hear that.
Okay, guys.
That's the reason why you're hearing third world sounds. Because
Hats
I'm
off to
outside.
this guy. Hats off to this guy because he's in the doghouse for being online with us right now.
Well done. That's a good step.
It is a good step.
I commend you. Yeah. Standing up for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
as a
breaking the
side note,
social norms.
He's
He's an outcast in Indonesia. Damn you.
Yeah, she even as a feminist, she still has she's still in a harsh way. I would say she's still mentally weak. She doesn't cope well with being quote unquote triggered. So when she hears something like this, a gathering of MGTOW and anti-feminist men, and she's like, "Oh no, get out of my sight!
Oh, no. Come
Don't
on
say
now.
that."
You can't be tolerating that. See, that's where feminism goes wrong. You need a little Sharia to straighten her out.
Yes.
Oh, they have it there too. It's beautiful.
Of course. Don't let her open her mouth. What's the first story in the Bible? The first story. Tell her to shut the fuck up. All right. I'm not eating that apple.
That's your-
We have
That's a little-
everything else here. We have everything else in this whole garden. Don't touch the apple. No, I want to eat the apple. I want to do this. See, and this is what happens.
Absolutely.
That's a little too late right now because the main reason why she became a feminist was because of the Sharia, you know.
Dude,
Well, you better reinforce that Sharia before you lose the plot, bro.
yeah, absolutely. Look, you're living.
Don't be following our lead. Learn from the white man's mistakes.
We're dying, man. We're killing ourselves.
We're dying.
Yeah, we are dying.
We're dying off.
Yeah.
Cultural
Is it
You give her a
really that bad
Starbucks.
over there? I mean,
You give that animal a dog and a Starbucks cup. Watch what's gonna happen. It's no happy for you anymore.
We're an endangered species.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. Extinction by Starbucks.
Yeah. Extinction by
Sex and the City.
Starbucks, extensions, and shaved
Right.
pubes.
And dogs,
dogs.
puppy dogs, hairless men.
Sex in the City. Don't forget Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Right, gossip girls. See, these are things you gotta
Jesus.
learn. Don't make our mistake, brother.
No.
We're men. Men around the world unite.
But this is the thing, man. Hambali, how come out of all the women, there's like you have the population of the United States in a geographical area that is maybe the size of like the Southwest Americas, and so you have there's tons of women. Why would you? How could you meet a feminist woman in that country? I don't
no,
understand.
I'm not really. My options were kind of limited because first and foremost, I mean, I'm an atheist, so that's not really.
You're an atheist?
Yeah, I'm an atheist,
Okay.
so the options are kind of limited. If I get a Muslim woman, she's definitely gonna push her traditional values onto me. I gotta pray and all
Good
that. I
luck.
gotta, yeah. So the only next option that I have is to come to these skeptical communities, and most of the women there are feminists. Yeah, a few handful of them aren't, but usually they're kind of distant. So yeah,
Okay, so are you saying that within the skeptical community of Indonesia,
yeah.
all you can find is feminist women?
If they're not feminist in the SJW sense, they're feminist in, well, they're all feminists. Yeah, they're all feminists.
Jesus Christ, man! I got to come back there because
It's an infestation. It's a disease. It's a worldwide epidemic. It spreads.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
contagious.
You guys brought it here.
well, Look,
Well,
I live.
we didn't actually bring it. We didn't actually bring it. It was, you know, through Facebook and the internet and things like that.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
Yeah, you know the when America coughs or when America sneezes, the world catches cold.
Catches a cold. Yeah.
Everything starts in America. It's
No, I
that way.
brought feminist to Indonesia in my handbag. I just packed it in my handbag, got off the plane, and fucking opened it up and threw it in the air.
Your satchel.
Yeah, my satchel, my mail satchel, my mail purse. Fucking opened it up, threw feminist into the air, and it fucking just killed it. It killed everyone. This is the thing, man.
But it's right.
Well, this is the
Yeah,
thing.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
It is Facebook. Yeah, it's because of Facebook and the internet and all these young girls. They're on with their phones and they're learning new things.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. Man,
Yeah.
I want to come back to Indonesia and introduce you to the girls I knew there. Because they didn't give a shit about that stuff. All they cared about was like, hey, look at this white guy. He can pay for my phone credits, my pulsa.
Yeah, how do I put it? It's like they're feminists, but they're still traditionalists. It's fucked up. I mean, like they come to feminist rallies, they come to feminist talks, and they talk about equality. But on the other hand, they're still depending on a dude. They're still money oriented.
Of course.
Yeah. It's
So
it's hard to explain.
so they say they're feminists, but
Yeah.
they're still putting their hand out for you to pay for their pulsa, which in
Yes.
English terms is your phone credits, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Equality and special treatment, and
Yeah.
at the same time, equality and special treatment.
Yes, it's such a bizarre concept, and it's catching on in Indonesia.
It's
I don't- I-
it's
I
an
don't-
oxymoron.
Well,
it's
I
a
don't think they
paradox.
actually. I don't think they actually know the term feminist,
Yes,
and I really don't
yeah.
think most women understand what the term means. They don't know where it comes from. So when they identify with feminism, I think they actually mean just like we want to have our own way, also, and you know we don't want to be
Yeah.
virgins. We don't want to be your chattel. You know, so I think it's a little bit of a loose definition what they mean by the term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree with you, man. And I think it goes to this point where it's not they don't understand the definition, but at a certain point, it's just like imagine this: somebody goes, "Hey, here's free money and sympathy. Do you want it?" And by the way,
Incentivization.
yeah, and by the way, this is the name. You know, like a fortune cookie. You open it up, there it is. That's by the way, it's called feminism. Will you take it? And they all fucking take it. They
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what the
yeah.
fuck they're
But
talking
you just
about.
you just watch movies and listen to music, and then that's where it comes from, man. American
absolutely.
music and American movies. That's all.
Yeah.
You can learn everything from that about feminism.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
as much as an American woman knows, that American woman won't know much about feminism either. They just follow the fucking crowd.
Mm. Well, Hambali, did you know that expat, another friend of mine that I only know through the internet, he was living in Thailand first, right?
Yeah, a year and a half.
Year and a half in Thailand. Now he's in Cambodia, so he's in your part of the world. He's a MGTOW, but he was military, right?
Yeah.
Now,
It's just a job. It's just a job to me. I don't love it.
yeah, it's a job. It's a job you do. And I'm wondering, do you think, Hambali, that the same people that have gone through the experience of being in the military in Indonesia have come to similar conclusions that he might have? What do you think, Hambali?
Mhm. The military people in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Do you know any?
I don't know any military people, but military gets a very bad rap here because they're really violent.
Nobody talks to him.
Yeah.
Military in
They
Indonesia.
only
Go ahead.
hang out with each other then. Like a
Yeah,
clique?
they only hang out with each other.
So their families, their friends, it's all kind of close together. Well, this is the difference to me, is that the Indonesian military, they have a really horrible history that they have to live up to, as far as like global, the world understanding what they've done. I mean,
And
Indonesia.
what's that?
Well, genocide. Fucking
Yeah, they have a
genocide.
good documentary about. I was going to bring that up. There's a documentary.
What? So about
that.
East Timor?
Yeah. Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
whatever. They got to do what they got to do.
Yeah. So
There
obviously,
was also, yeah.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Punking on the
Hambali.
smallest,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
impoverished country, the one little Catholic little isolated land, and they, I guess they go after the Papua New Guineans quite often, also.
Oh, yeah.
But
Right now, they're doing it. Right now, they're
well,
doing.
they always do it.
Yeah.
They're doing East Timor again right now, but with Papua. They're
Yes.
doing it right now. Hambali, you understand that, right?
Yes.
Yes. They're doing it right now. Now, imagine being a part of that military. Even if you were never assigned to that back in the 60s, when you were slaughtering hundreds and hundreds of thousands of innocent people on an island that wasn't yours, but, American interests needed it. Even if you weren't part of that, you still have to live up to that expectation. Like, oh, you're part of the military. Oh, yeah, you're one of those guys that just fucking shoot people in the head till the river runs blood. That's what you do. Fucking crazy, man.
Well, that's what being in the military, is really about. You got to just, do what you got to do. You got to get the job done. I mean, even if you agree with the policies or don't, that's part of being in the service.
It's part of the job.
Yeah, to me, it's like being a robot. Yeah, I always thought it was like being a robot. That's why I don't really think it's good. It's just like it's whatever the dishonest and corrupt politicians want. You're just their right arm.
Yeah, well, I think with the media now and with how much knowledge and information that's out there, you can see that a lot of people that would join the military or anything military related is going to be have a lot of criticism and be very skeptic towards what we're doing and where we're going.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's why America didn't get involved in Syria. I mean, the generals told Obama, like, drop dead. And I'm sure they're telling Trump the same thing. Like, the American people I don't care what false flag you're going to try pulling out of your ass. No one's falling for it, and no one's going to have your back.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I mean, 9/11 was definitely the key to that. Where we were all, even myself, I'm guilty to a point where I was pretty psyched about going into the Middle East, and we're gonna invade Iraq and clean house a bit, and then
we'll
to
kill
see
the
what
villain.
Right. Well, whatever. I was okay. I was pretty okay with it, but and to see what it's fermented and what has happened, it wasn't like the MacArthur plan where we went into Germany and rehabilitated Germany. I thought that was going to be the same thing with invasion of Iraq, and that is definitely not what happened. And I mean, the book's still being written. Still being written in Iraq, but forget it. It's not going to fly anymore.
Well, that's why I'm really happy that I got Nick in this conversation, and I got Expat, and I got Hambali, because he's from the country that I committed incest with. You know what I mean? You don't belong there, but you're putting your dick in it and you become a part of it.
Yep.
I don't know if that's a good analogy, but that's where I'm going. And the point is, it's like, look, Expat is in Cambodia right now. I've never been to that country, but I got Hambali. He's living there, man. He's living the dream in that country. He's from there. He grew up there. His roots are there. But he's got a bit of a mind. He speaks our language, and he can kind of reinforce a lot of things I've been saying about these places over there and the history of it. And it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. The shit that went down to actually create the country of Indonesia. The decisions that were made by government officials and military to make that country become a country, and then watch it grow up, watch it go through occupation and independence. And then the rest of us, we're thinking about our military actions over in the Middle East, especially recently, and we see how that's working out. And I'm wondering, maybe we can see a pattern happening here. I don't know. Is
A
Iraq,
pattern in regards to what? It's like what kind of pattern? What do you mean?
well, is Iraq going to be the next Indonesia?
No.
Yeah, I say it's the
No,
other way
it's an
around. Indonesia
totally.
is gonna be the next.
That's like saying that East Timor is going to be the next Argentina. I mean, just because they're both religion are the same doesn't mean there's a lot more to it than that.
It's not about religion. It's about the history. I mean, it's basically occupation, destruction.
Thousands of years.
Yeah. Well, Indonesia became a nation after only 350 to 400 years.
But like the Middle East has just been the same shit going on and on repeatedly, like same cycle. Like they just keep doing the same shit.
Yeah, but Indonesia's not part. Isn't really that. It isn't important as of right now on the risk board. I compare global affairs and politics, a risk game, and if I was at the risk board as like an American. Indonesia doesn't play that much of a vital role at the moment.
Yeah, you don't put any pieces over there. It doesn't matter.
There's no piece. Yeah, the pieces are as is. The West did what they had to do in the 70s to Indonesia, and they've been relatively stable since.
But but again though, that's like 30, 40 years later, maybe 50 years later. Look how much has changed. Do you think that might be similar to what's happening to these picked off countries in the Middle East? Do you think they're eventually?
Like China might be the biggest threat. China is trying to take over like a lot of places like around Philippines, like South China Sea.
Yeah, but Indonesia's still too far away. It's still too far away for Indonesia to give a shit. I mean, it's not like China's going further down and trying to take one of Indonesia's islands,
No.
Right.
Well, Indonesia is completely occupied, man. Right now, they're killing Papuans in Papua New Guinea. They're killing them wholesale for oil. They were doing
I did not know about this.
Yeah, they're doing it now, and they were doing it in Aceh in the 70s. They find the resources.
Yeah, but people of Papua New Guinea are like nuts. I mean, I don't, everyone's trying to get rid of Papua New Guineans. They're too fucking crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my God, do we really care about all these resources to deal with these savages? Like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not bothering with them.
Hey, how
are they like similar to like Maori people?
No, they're like Aborigines. They're Aborigines with their own country.
Yeah, they're Aboriginals.
Yeah, Maori Aborigines. They're very similar. Hambali, the Papuans are still cannibals until today, correct?
I'm not sure. I don't know much about Papuan culture, but yeah, they basically don't wear clothes. They wear just a few things.
They wear no clothes.
Yeah, leave them alone, man. Haven't they been through enough? Like
they wear.
The way I look at it,
they wear no clothes, and they put a long piece of wood under their dick.
What about shoes? They wear shoes.
What do you call it? No, they don't.
I don't think they wear shoes. Koteka.
Hambali, what do they call that piece of wood they put under their dick? What?
They call it the koteka.
Koteka. Koteka is the piece of wood, like the spear, that they tie to.
No. Yeah.
It's like a piece of wood. It looks like a spear, but it's really long, and they tie it to their balls and dick, right?
Yeah.
Koteka.
So they stretch their dick out.
No. It's just no. I'm gonna find a picture of that shit, man. I gotta find a picture of that. Kodeka. K-O-D-E-K-A.
K-O-T-E-K-A.
Okay. Dan H, kan?
Nggak pakai H.
Okay. Kodeka. All right, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of that shit. Images.
I might try that sometime.
Kodeka. Wow, this is okay. I found this image. It's not the best one, but you can kind of see. I'll share my screen. He's gonna do this.
I can't. I'm not a. I can't see it on my phone. Sorry, but I will see it later.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm sharing it right now.
Oh.
There. Can you guys see that?
Wait, something popped up.
Small.
I have to zoom it in. It's the best picture I can find. Kodeka.
Oh, yeah. So it's going up his belly.
Here it is. Here's another one.
Mhm.
It's like this. It's like this little piece of wood they stick on their dick, like that.
Beautiful.
You see that? That's
Yeah.
a kodeka.
That's nice.
All right, so these are the people right now that are getting basically just the TNI, the Indonesian military, right now are just shooting them in the head, throwing them in the river, shoot them in the head, throw them in the river, so they can get their oil. All right? There
It's
they
probably
are.
just ethnic cleansing.
It is ethnic cleansing. It's
Okay,
genocide.
Yeah, well, you know, everything. I have a lot of arguments with so many people. Oh, it's the military-industrial complex. Oh, it's you know, it's the bankers. It's the bankers. I try to look at things above a monetary value on what's really happening. I just boil it down to trying to get rid of people, get rid of cultures, uproot people from their lands, and
Yes.
just have this mass migration of people. Throughout the globe. That's kind of what I view things as. I mean, the attack on North Korea. I mean, North Korea's got to be the one of the most homogeneous countries in the entire world, and we're really, really attacking them to no end. And I think that they want to displace North Koreans off their land. That's kind of what I see. That's kind of what I've noticed.
That's absolutely what's happening, man. It's just like, look,
Right.
we need to purge this land for what we need, and human life is no expense, and they do it. They've done it before. They've done it so many times. And Indonesia,
Yeah, but it's not you're seeing like a need as they want something. I'm saying that there is nothing they want. They just want it's social engineering. It's not money. It's not resources.
yeah, it's
That's
not
kind of
money.
what I'm going with.
No, money and resources is just an extra. It's an extra for them.
Right. Correct.
It's an extra.
Agreed.
That's all it is. The real end game is just complete control. And if you want to know their motives, well, you might have to dig deep into some rabbit hole. And I'm not going to pretend I know them. All I know is it's happening. It's happening.
Right.
It's very visible.
Well, no. Well, you know, the rabbit hole is if you just scratch the surface of it. If you uproot people from their lands and you get rid of tribal societies and communities and stuff like that, you're just able to control them much better because you have no lineage. You don't know where you come from. Let's say someone from Nigeria, from the tribes of Nigeria, he's now living in Denmark. I mean, how does that work? I mean, so this guy has real no identity. He doesn't know where he comes from. He doesn't know who his parents are. He can be easily be more manipulated than, let's say, someone that's been there for an extended period of time.
Good point. Actually, very good point. And you forget to lose your history. You start to lose.
Well, that's
your
the whole
culture.
idea. Well, that's why they keep going after people in the southern states of America. That's why they went after the Confederate flag and Dixie culture. I mean, they just attack people from the South to no end as hillbillies and morons and you know, like, you know, you're inbred. You fuck your sister. You fuck your mother. And, you know, it's an ongoing joke in America, especially in New York. Right, take down your statues, get rid of your history, get rid of that rebel element in white society, in white culture. You know, that's definitely what I see being played out in the South right now.
Well, genocide is a huge dice roll when it comes to forgetting the past or controlling time, basically. If you can eliminate an entire culture, then that culture doesn't exist anymore to be any
history
evidence.
is written by the winners.
Exactly. Now, when I was living in Indonesia, in Hambali, I used to say this to my Indonesian friends when I was there. I said, the only difference between you Indonesians and the Native Americans that come from my country is that the Dutch colonized you and they let you live. They let you become servants. They let you cook their food and become servants. You see, in America, they didn't allow that. They just exterminated. So the only
Yes.
real difference.
Exterminated who?
Huh?
The Native Americans?
Well, the Native Americans, they didn't. Okay, I'm making a comparison between the occupation of Indonesia and the occupation of the Americas when the Spanish, Dutch, and English came over. The difference was in the Dutch East Indies of Indonesia, when they came over, they didn't go, hey, wait a second, we need all your land. They didn't give a shit about the land. When they came to Indonesia, all they wanted was the resources. They wanted their spices and their wood. They didn't give a fuck about the land because the land was too small. It was just a bunch of little islands in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, well, that makes a more logistics nightmare 400 or 500 years ago.
Exactly. But coming to the Americas, they were like, holy fuck, I don't give a fuck about your resources. I want the land you're living on. This is huge.
Yeah, damn right.
This is huge. So
I'd fucking take that shit too.
Yes. So if we want this land, we're cutting you all down in the process.
It's
That's the
mostly
difference.
disease.
Yeah, but all right,
Mostly
you know,
disease,
this goes back into attacking Europeans for taking out the Native Americans. I get that this I don't really agree with.
I'm not going to attack your
Look, when we got there, these people were really tribal. They had no, I mean, the Europeans were just so much advanced than them, and the Europeans like, they're just fucking, move, get out of here, like you're just a mosquito. I mean, when the Spaniards went to Central America, 100 Spaniards, conquistadors, slaughtered 20,000 Incans. I think it was I think it was the Incas in a matter of a couple hours because of their society was not structured to operate in such a way where they took out the king. And once they knocked out the king and captured him, the rest of the army completely disintegrated, and the 100 Spaniards were able to just mow them all down. Is that really the Spaniards' fault? No, they wanted gold. They loved gold. They wanted that gold, and that's just if we're gonna go down this rabbit hole, I might as well start complaining about the Romans taking out the Carthaginians. The Carthaginians' lives matter. Oh, I'm a descendant of the Carthaginian. I want reparations now. I mean, it gets a little fucking retarded.
Irish.
Irish too. Yeah, and where's my money?
Absolutely.
So, the Native Americans, there was a lot of infighting. They were unable to unite.
No, they were killing each other. They were
killing each other, and then the Westerners were able to
disease.
take advantage of this.
It was mostly disease that killed
the Native Americans. No, the Native Americans made the horse extinct on their own continent. They hunted it until it died, and then the Spanish brought it over again, and they learned to ride it for the first time. Okay, that's the history of that continent.
Did they even have did they even invent the wheel? I know in Africa they didn't invent the wheel.
No, not in North America. They had no wheel.
What remnants are left of the Native Americans are in the country of Guatemala, and the rest of Central America absolutely hates Guatemala because they're descendants of Native Americans.
Yeah. And the point I was trying to make before, guys, was that the difference, and again, and I said this because I was in Indonesia. I grew up in the North Americas, but then all of a sudden I'm in Indonesia, the land of the Dutch ruled for 300 years. And I said, and I used to say this to them, I said, you're lucky. You still have your language and your culture. And the reason you have that is because your land was unusable. However, what it produced was gold. If you go the other way to the Americas, the reason the Native Americans lost a lot of their culture and language, and I'm not saying one's better than the other, it's just the fact of history. But the reason it existed is because what the land produced, it wasn't important. What was important was the vast amount of land that existed. They wanted the land. They didn't give a fuck about what the land produced. They're like, fuck that shit. I'm going to take all this land. In Indonesia, they're like, there's nothing here. But look what it produces, and we're just going
Well,
to take
you're
that
also
shit.
comparing how many Native Americans versus how many Indonesians there are. All right, there's a far less Native American population versus Indonesian population. Then you're factoring it to the Dutch that's doing it to Indonesia, and I'm sure Indonesians outnumber the Dutch.
Oh
And
yeah.
you're dealing with England and France, who were that at their prime of existence to North America. So I mean, it's hard to compare the two. I mean, the Dutch were, I mean, they were a superpower for a very small
Well,
period.
they made New York, man. They made New York.
Right, they made, New Amsterdam and everything, but uh,
They
it's kind of
were a
hard to compare
superpower.
the two.
Back then they were a superpower, and the funny thing is that they didn't wipe out. But my point is, it's not because they didn't wipe out the Indonesians because they were Dutch. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they didn't wipe them out because they realized that their labor was worth more than the land they could have. It was all about the bottom dollar.
Yeah, well, you can also say when the Dutch went to Cambodia, the Dutch East India Company got slaughtered by the Cambodians, and they learned their lesson not to go up to Cambodia.
Well, again, land. It all has to do with land. Like, what land are you working with? You got to remember, they were coming to the Dutch East Indies with ships to a place that was all islands dotted in the South Pacific, and they had to decide, wait, what is valuable here? Like, come on, it hasn't changed. What's valuable here? The wood. The first thing was the wood. Look at these goddamn trees. We can cut these trees down, take them back to Holland, and we can make $1 million. And that's what they did. They didn't kill the people. They didn't have to. They didn't have to, because they're small islands. I mean, history is written by the geography of where you live. That's simple. It's very simple. It's always been that way. And that's why Indonesia is the way it is. That's why the Philippines is the way it is. They are isolated islands in the South Pacific. And so the monetary gain depended on the actual geography of the place.
That's why Thailand's never been taken over, because they didn't have anything that anybody really wanted.
Yes, absolutely. And again, it has to do with where it's situated geographically. What's behind it? Is it an island? What's behind it? Is there something we can get here? Maybe there were things they could get in Thailand that they could get in Indonesia, but Indonesia was easier because of access, because of geography. History is basically moving pegs on a map that make access easier. That's all it is. And the people with power to make it happen. That's all it is, man. And if you're living on the wrong island at the wrong time, sorry, buddy.
You're done.
You're done.
You better fight. Yep. Look at Syria. They're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wrong place at the wrong time, man. What are you going to do? You're fucking done. Survive. That's why MGTOW survived. MGTOW survived. No, seriously, MGTOW survived.
It's been going their own way. A lot of the MGTOW channels forget the own part.
I don't know. I don't know why they forget. Why do you think, Expat? Why do they forget it?
A lot of guys like to act as gatekeepers, that's for sure. Just like every movement or any philosophy. A lot of people love to try to make themselves feel more important than they are.
Right.
And pretend like they speak for, like a lot of MGTOW, even bigger channels. They try to act as gatekeepers, and they tell guys what they should be doing. And it's not going our way. It's not going my way. It's going your own way. It's not our way.
Well, and this is the fantastic thing about it, is that is the one thing that attracted our Indonesian guests to MGTOW. And that's why he came to it. He went through the MRA.
I think also a lot of the issue with the MGTOW channels is exactly what he said, the gatekeeper. It's like they're the pharmaceutical company that has the red pill, and they're the ones supplying it to you, therefore you should listen to them.
Well, that's our world, right? It's like
as
long as you have as long as you have the remedy, this is my pill, take it, and everything will be happy.
Right, but then they're making you choose which pharmaceutical company you want to go with. So you want to go with
Absolutely.
Molyneux? Do you want to go with Peterson? Do you want to go with Men for Ear? Do you want to go, so it gets broken down into all different subcategories and it loses its momentum.
It does.
And then
It does.
that's why the PUAs, the pickup artists, they don't like MGTOW because they're taking away men from their sales, and they're really trying to sell something. And it's a threat.
Oh, there's such thing as pickup artists? I didn't even know that existed anymore.
Oh yeah, it exists.
I love Roosh V. I'm sorry, sad that Roosh doesn't support MGTOW, but I love him. He's evolved past the PUA thing, and he's more focused on. It seems like he's going his own way, really, and he just doesn't want to come out and say it. But
he's
I love
he's finally MGTOW. Eh?
But he doesn't admit it.
Yeah, he won't admit it. He won't admit it because he shut us down from day one.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the two biggest arguments I had back in the day when I was making content was with, guess who? Paul Elam and Roosh V.
Now, Paul Elam, is that Ear for Men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a dick. I don't fucking like his channel.
He shit on my head so hard, man.
I do not like him. I didn't talk to him. I left a nasty comment one time when he actually responded to my surprise, and it was about how the only love you have is for your dog, and every guy should have a dog because that's a man's best friend. So then I write a comment. I go, what type of fucking loser do you have to be that the only communication and love and respect you're going to get is from a canine that licks its own fucking ass? And he got all fucking butthurt when I said that.
I can appreciate the humor, but I just made a post about this 2 days ago on my MGTOW Expat Facebook channel. I was saying I was basically saying the same thing that Paul just said there. I was saying that, well, there's definitely love from a woman does not exist for a man. And like loyalty and brotherhood between men is kind of not really existent. We're all competing against each other. And so I made a post saying that,
right, but the thing what I was making a point is that all these women now have doggies and the puppy dog, and he's like doing the same thing. He's telling guys to go get dogs. I go, that's exactly what the women are doing. You're mimicking what they're doing. Stop mimicking the women.
Well, the point is take women out of the equation. Take women out of the equation, and then expat. Go ahead. What were you saying? Because
I was just saying I appreciate the humor, but this is an ancient ritual. It's something that the connection between man and dog. It's just think of Mad Max. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, but that's the end of the world. There's still people around.
No, it's been around. It's been this way for eons. It's a real thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sick of the fucking dog shit. I really am fucking sick of this. I'm sick of seeing dogs and people posting pictures of their dogs, putting the dog on their Christmas cards. I go, it's a fucking dog. You understand? It's only gonna be alive for maybe 8 years. You understand? You should be out there meeting people, being with your fucking family, instead of having a dog fucking look at you and put peanut butter on your balls. Get the fuck out of here.
The point is, man, Lamprey. The point is, Nick, is that the point is the dog represents something else. All right, it's a representation, right?
It's cute. I get the dogs. I get it. The animals. We all love animals. But when you have fucking people standing around you, there's nice people, and and you want to help neighbors and stuff. The dog it's just there. It's just a way of seeking attention without it fucking talking back to you and telling you you're fucking wrong because the dog is. You can lock a dog in your trunk. You can lock a dog in your trunk and open it the next day, and it's still gonna be like all excited to see you. You can't do that with a fucking person, can you?
Wait, hold on a second, guys. Ambali, you still there? Ambali.
Hello?
You still there?
Yep.
Your girlfriend hasn't fucking strung you up by the nuts yet?
No, not yet.
All right, good. Now, I want you to explain to the gentleman I'm talking to now how the Indonesians love cats but fucking hate dogs.
Yeah, they're smart.
It's basically Muslims. No, it's just religion actually, because in Islam you can't touch dogs.
In
Yeah,
Islam, you
haram.
can't touch dogs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't touch dogs. Yeah, they're forbidden. Yeah,
Good.
you can't touch dogs. Yeah, you can't touch them. You can't touch them. Yeah.
So basically, Nick is a Muslim
Okay.
because he hates dogs. He can't touch them, but he loves cats.
I like dogs. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate dogs, but I hate what it's manifested in what it's manifest into, where it's all pervasive. That we now, because you might as well have a robot. Why not have a robot that's your best friend while we're
But
at
we don't
it?
have it.
Hey, your robot knows everything that you like, and it knows what your answer is going to be. It's not going to tell you anything different, and it's going to it becomes an echo chamber. It's ridiculous.
Okay, Hambali.
Mhm.
Hambali, in Jakarta,
Yeah.
how many cats do you think exist in that country, in that city?
Oh, I don't know.
What, like 500 million, maybe?
Yeah, probably like 6 per person.
Yeah, 6 per person.
Yeah,
So 500
yeah.
fucking million. How many dogs?
Yeah.
You ever see a dog?
Dogs, yeah. Maybe 2 per person, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing. They hate dogs. They love cats. Listen,
Well, cats are nasty in a different way. I mean, cats are very selfish. They're not nice creatures.
Muslim hates dogs. They hate dogs, just like Hambali said. It's like considered haram.
Yeah.
Hambali, why is it haram for
Yeah,
dogs?
it's the same reason for why they can't eat pork, because it's not holy.
It's unclean.
It's unclean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
And who says
Correct.
it's unclean?
The Quran says it's unclean
No,
because
not about
it was a dirty animal.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
1,000
absolutely.
years ago.
Yeah. And that builds culture, man. It builds culture. Like that kind of shit builds culture. It builds the way you think. Like seriously, man, I have never in my life seen a person actually flinch away from a contact with a strange
Yeah.
dog that came up to him.
Yes.
To a degree
Yeah.
where they were like, oh, don't touch me. Like I've never seen that shit.
Yeah.
But I saw it in Indonesia. I'm like, holy Christ, it's just a dog, man. He just wants to lick you. You can pet him
Yeah.
on the head, you're okay. But the strongest desires of human beings, it's written in religion and politics.
There's even a ritual that if a dog touches you, you have to wash your hand with soil 7 times. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible, man. I mean, they cringe. Like, okay, imagine this: you, North American man, see what's a poisonous snake about to strike you. Your first reaction is to run and cringe away. This is the same reaction that these Muslims in Indonesia take when a dog just comes up to him and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" and wants to lick him. It's incredible. That's why I'm telling you, culture is driven by religion and politics. 100%. You have to question your own.
I think the
beliefs.
culture makes the politics, though.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
it's the embodiment of what your culture is. I mean, like what if Hillary Clinton's getting away with fucking murder, it means that that society's rotting.
Yeah, but why? What Christ, it has to do with
that's the rabbit hole. That's that you have to have a kaleidoscopic view as far as why that's happening.
But still, like,
again, because we're so atomized. The individualism in North America has become so narcissistic to the point where everyone's doing their own thing, and don't let it bother me. If he loves his mother and he wants to sleep with his mother, go for it, man. Do what you want. YOLO.
But I agree with you, man. I think a lot of the problem is narcissism and hedonism. I mean, we are looking.
America was founded on narcissism, though. It's based on the individual. But now it's to the point where it's now a cancer in society.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, individualism or understanding yourself as being an individual apart from the rest of society around you, that's not a bad thing. That's just being an individual.
It's the baby boomers is what took it into what destroyed our culture. The baby boomer generation.
Oh man, I get into so many fights with that crowd, man.
Well, I'm sick and tired of the absolute hedonism and individualism of people today. Hedonism is the big one, not just narcissism. It's not just.
Well, this goes back to my thing with the dog. Is that again? You're being so atomized that the only thing that you're going to communicate with is a fucking animal. It's retarded.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, what you're doing is your reaction. Your reaction to the life around you is based on a dogma, which says dogs are dirty. Do not touch them. And so every experience you have with them is going to be like that. Okay, pork is bad. Don't touch it. Don't eat it. So every experience you have with that is going to be like that. And what's happening, again, it's this narcissism and it's hedonism. And in Western culture, what we see, especially with women are only focused on look at me and how can I pleasure myself.
Yeah, see, the women today don't know what the delaying gratification is, and a large portion of the male population is that way too, and that again leads to a societal breakdown.
Well, look, I don't know about the different portions of the population, but what I see, okay, as a regular person of social media, I look at what I'm exposed to. What I see is women being hedonistic. In other words, pleasure me, make sure I have pleasure. And individualism, make sure it's about me. Like I see that every day. Like every post, every website.
Well, it's a voyeurism or whatever. Voyeur, I think that's the word for it.
Voyeurism is looking at it. And I understand voyeurism. And I think voyeurism is the reason. I mean, porn is voyeurism. Porn is basically looking at someone else pleasure themselves. That's voyeurism. But I'm talking about hedonism.
Right, but you're looking, the person's posting it and then everyone's looking at it.
Yes. And what we have is hedonism and narcissism. Love of thyself and love of everybody looking at me loving myself. I mean, this is women.
But all right, now here's the thing though. That's great for a 25-year-old blonde chick, but for a 40-year-old woman or a 40-year-old man, those things aren't not nearly as important.
They're done.
They're done. And the problem what we're facing today is that people, the millennial generation, don't seem to understand when you're 40, puking on a car fender and posting it up on Instagram is not really cool with a 40-year-old. So what's gonna happen is you're having a whole generation being brought up into this, being pushed forward towards this direction where you're gonna even be more isolated, more alone, and hooked on prescription drugs and
hooked on phonics.
becoming very lonely.
Look, man, these the people that are doing this today. You're right. They have no concept of what's going to happen.
They're very short, very one-track minded. They cannot see tomorrow. Same thing with tattoos. I mean, I've mentioned things about tattoos. I think in maybe the first or second live stream, where hey, look, man, that tattoo is going to look like a pile of shit when you're 45, 50 years old. And if I had to do it all over again, I would want to be a dermatologist because there's going to be a lot of tattoo removal in the future. What the hell were you thinking? It's funny. Absolutely. And I really rail on tattoos and how stupid they are. It's a form of a self-objectification. It's a self-indulgent. I have nothing important to discuss. Look at my tattoo.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. I am a fucking idiot with a tattoo, and this is the only thing I can identify with, and its meaning. And I hope you ask about my tattoo. You're gonna ask about my tattoo, and at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck about your shitty tattoo. It
We
only
don't
matters for
care.
you, right? It's ridiculous. It's out of control, man.
Well, you know, it's funny that you said that because you would be a great spokesman for Islam by saying that.
Yallah. Well,
No.
I don't even know. I'm Catholic, and Catholicism is not that far off from Islam. At least the basic social,
If
social
you
aspects to it.
say that same thing again, I'll record it and I'll put it up on a Muslim
Say it,
website.
you broke up.
Look, say the same thing you just said about
About Catholicism?
about tattoos. Say the same thing you just said about tattoos. I will record
Right,
it.
about how it's a form of it's just a form of again narcissism. It's
Yes,
self-objectification.
Yes.
It's a way to try to make it like I'm here, I exist. Look at my tattoo, and that's really not healthy.
Now, guess what? I can make you the next mullah of the next Islam revolution. That
Yeah, I
what
can
you
second
just
that.
said,
I can
what
second
you
that.
just said, I could record that and say, "This is the American mullah that talks about tattoos." I could post it online, and you'd get like a fucking 10,000 subscribers going, "Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely."
but then there's gonna be a lot of people that hate it because I have a tattoo. What do you mean by that? You're insulting my tattoo.
But there'll be a minority.
You know,
There'll be a minority. Welcome to the real world.
And getting a tattoo is like the opposite of being a rebel. It was started as a rebel thing, but now it's the opposite.
right? Exactly.
Now it's following.
It's
the
the
crowd.
complete opposite. Now you're a rebel not getting a tattoo.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. You're not an individual when you get a tattoo. You're following the crowd.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. I have scars. Ask me about my scars. You know, I think scars are more badass than a tattoo anyway.
Why not just have such a strong character that your character speaks for itself? You don't need to
Bingo.
have a sign that tells people this is who I am. You do
Bingo.
it with a strong fucking
That's it, man. 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Hey, Lamprey, Nick, I'm gonna steal that once this video
Go
is done.
for it. It's copyrighted.
Steal what you just said. I know, I'm serious. I'm gonna steal what you just said. I'm gonna use it as a Muslim incentive. I'm gonna use it. I'll be like, why would you put these tattoos on your arms? And you're going to hell. Trust me, man. I'm gonna turn.
I think with Christian, you're allowed to have tattoos. You're not allowed to put the name of someone dead on you. I think that's the rule.
Say it again. You broke up.
You're not I think in Christianity the rule is you can have a tattoo, but you're not allowed to put someone that's dead on your body as a tattoo.
Yeah, but I don't care about the Christians. I'm just talking about the Muslims. That's where the money is. The money is with the Muslims. Come on, man. Today's
well, I really don't know any. I don't know any Muslims that would have a tattoo. I don't think. I think very few have.
You know me. I'm a Muslim.
Are you?
Yes.
All right, there you go.
I converted.
Really?
Yes.
From what? What'd you have from what to? Because your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so why couldn't she convert to your beliefs? See, now this goes back to why Muslims can't fucking integrate into the West.
If she tried to convert to me, she would basically be disowned by her own family.
Well, so you don't want to marry me, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it goes to that. This is why Muslims don't really mix well with Christians, and you know it's kind of an issue.
And Christians don't mix well with Muslims. It's all the same bullshit. And I'm here. I live here. A living example.
So you don't drink? You don't smoke?
Oh, fuck that.
Okay, so you're not a real practicing. You're a lapsed Muslim.
Hey, wait a second. I tried it. I did it. Right? But I did it because I didn't want my wife to divorce me.
Okay.
So what do you do?
You're like
Did she still divorce you?
Oh, she still divorced me, man.
See? There you go.
There you go. There you go. I did it because I'm like, wait a second. I better stop drinking because
Now what you got to do is you got to do some honor killing.
You pick and choose like only Christians do. You
I'm
pick
picking and
what
choosing
parts
for you,
like.
brother. That's an honor killing. You're leaving me, bitch, after I converted to your religion. Well, guess what? You made me convert. Now I'm going to kill your
I
ass.
already did it. I already did it. Guess how I did it?
Bismillah Akbar.
No, I
Yallah.
took my son to Canada away from her. That's how I did it.
Come here, son. I'll show you some porn.
No. I took my son back to the country of my origin, and he's here with me, and I did it. Guess what? Guess how? Through the rules of Muslim and the rules of the law in the country. And money. That's all I needed.
Mostly money.
Mostly money. Mostly money. And guess what?
Money talks and bullshit walks.
Exactly.
And you walk.
And
with the
religion is mostly bullshit. Very simple. And I did it. And I did it. I got away with it. I did it. I fucking went through the hardest shit. Man. Horrible shit. And
I love your story.
Yeah. And I did it. I did it. I fucking did it. And you know what?
Sick.
Here's where I am. I manipulated the rules of not only a religion, but also a culture to make sure that I could leave the country with my kid and stay here. That's what I did.
Oh, that's messed up. You're going to hell.
No, I know I'm going to hell. But I did it, man. It worked. It fucking worked.
Good on you.
And I was surprised. Now I don't know what
You took your natural role as the leader of a family. The man needs to be in control of a family and the kids. Otherwise, everything goes to shit, just like America.
Yes. You know what's funny, expat? That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was thinking, wait a second. If I leave here without him, he's going to be subject to his mother. And I
become a man bitch. Yeah.
Yes. You become a horrible person. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. So then I went through the process of, no, that will not happen. I will not make that happen. And I did it, and it was hard. And it was very hard.
You stepped up to the plate.
Yes, it was very hard. It was following.
Yeah, it was like a James Bond movie. What you did.
Yes, following people with masks down, sleeping in restaurants in different parts of the country, doing shit that you normally wouldn't do. I did it.
And also, like an undercover operation, like going into her house and acting like you're on her side.
Yes, absolutely, man. It was fucking insane, and I did it.
That's cool.
It's beautiful.
I made it.
You did it for your son.
Yeah, I did it for my kid because I was
you did the right thing.
No way. No fucking way. I'm not going to let this chick fucking dictate the life of my son. And you know what?
You could see she was already going down the wrong path. As a parent, she was not doing the right thing at all.
Absolutely.
She didn't give a fuck.
And the funny thing is, I talked to my son today about that stuff. And he's like, hey, Dad, I'm really happy that you took me to Canada. I'm really happy you took me here.
How old is he?
He's 10 now. When that was going on, he was like 7 or 8. I mean, this is like a 3-year process, man.
Oh, you got him out in time, man.
Yeah. And now he says to me, he's like, Dad, you know, I'm glad you brought me here. Like, I understand. Like, you know, I know what I'm doing. And he is the best in his school. He's the best in his school. You know why? Because he's a guy that's bilingual, that came to a little ho-dung little city in southern Alberta. You know, most of the little kids his age, they never spoke a second language. They have no idea. They have no concept. So he comes here, fucking goes into the school, and then he kills it all. He gets the best grades. He's like, "Oh, I speak 2 languages. What do you speak?" And they're like, "How are you doing there, pal?" You know what I mean? Like, they don't fucking get it.
No French?
No, they don't speak French in Western Canada, man. Give me a break. They don't speak French here.
Oh.
So he walks out of the grade with the best grades in the level. The best grades. So I have to like take photos. I have to like, okay, I gotta show up and take photos. Look, holding up his diploma or his certificate or whatever the fuck they do. Like, oh yeah, there's good, it's good. I send it to his mom and go like, look, your kid is brilliant, and he's brilliant here. You know why he's brilliant? Because he knows 2 languages. Yeah, the maid. Absolutely.
Yeah, but being a single father should, play into your advantage with the women. I'm a single parent. Feel
It
bad
does.
for me.
It
Yeah,
does.
it's got to work.
But I haven't taken.
Mommy did heroin in the hood.
I haven't tried to take advantage of that yet. Like I haven't tried.
Oh, you should. I use my little brother like a pawn in everything. In everything I do. What do we tell the waitress? Mommy did heroin with who? And she went to the hood and did. Yeah, she got gangbanged. She left us.
Oh, you're such a sweet man to take care of this little boy.
Tried to do the right thing, couldn't have him, wandering the streets in the hood.
Beautiful.
Speaking some jungle jive.
I'm trying to play that. I'm trying to play that angle a little bit. I am trying. And guess what? Guess where that's got me? Mostly women. No, not nowhere. But it's mostly women about 5 to 10 years my senior. And they're not unattractive. They're not unattractive. Come on. They're not unattractive.
Dude, after being in Cambodia, it can't be. It's got to be at least 10 years younger for me at this point. You can't. I can't go back to stale. I can't go back to stale beer after sipping champagne. I'm sorry.
I feel the same way, man. It changed me forever.
I'm in Canada.
My friends are like, "Oh, why don't you date her?" I'm like, "Yo, she's 35. Get the hell. That's some old eggs, man. Yeah. Stale ass Cracker Jacks. The prize is gone and expiration date. And it's not happening." Give me, it's like discount bakery goods at this point.
Yeah, that's living in America. Yep.
Yep. Fuck.
Bali, you still there, brother?
Yep.
How are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just.
How's your girlfriend?
Yeah, she's cooking lunch actually, but she's supposed to be calling me up anytime now.
Okay, so she's cooking you lunch right now?
Yeah.
What's she cooking?
Yeah, just some meat, I guess.
What?
Beef.
Beef?
Yeah.
Me?
Daging semur.
Indomie?
I don't know what. No, daging semur.
Yeah, Indomie. I know, Indomie noodle.
Wait, no. Okay, what beef? Sorry?
What do you call it? Beef in soya sauce. Daging semur. Do you know that?
Say it again.
Daging semur. Daging semur.
Daging samur. Okay, so you got so she's cooking you some beef in some sauce, right? And then what are you gonna eat that with? Like rice, noodles?
Yeah, it's supposed to be rice, but I'm kind of cutting down on rice because, just to be healthy.
Well, fucking rice is the best.
Yeah, but it causes diabetes.
Causes diabetes. That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of Indos have diabetes. They're all fucked up.
Yeah, it's a big problem in Southeast Asia now.
Yeah. Oh, it's really bad.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
Cambodia's got the problem too.
From rice?
Yeah, diabetes.
Diabetes.
It's huge.
No, I mean what?
Diabetes.
From From what though?
Well,
From rice and beer, probably.
Well, yeah, the
Yeah, I
Indonesians
can
say
see
it's
the
from
beer.
rice.
Oh,
So what is it, hambali? What is it? Is it from rice?
Yeah, it's from rice.
They eat rice all the time, every day,
Every day, yeah.
and that's
Every
giving them
day.
diabetes.
Eat that rice every
Mhm.
day.
I
know what
did
it's
that
like?
for a few months. I ate pork fried rice for 3 meals a day for a few months, and I put on some good weight. Not good
Did
weight,
you?
but
I lost
shitty.
weight eating the pork and rice for breakfast, man.
I was eating rice every day for 3 meals a day, only that all day, every day for like months, and because I was getting so many hookers, I was low on money, and so this,
Right. Well, you
I ate
gotta
this.
supplement, all right? I mean, you're gonna have to eat some by Chasico, you know, to
No,
offset the hooker intake.
he was losing weight from his loads. Like his loads were shooting out every day. That's where the weight is lost.
Every day.
You want to lose weight?
Rice every day.
Keep fucking and shooting the loads.
I used to do that too. I used to like budget myself. I'm like, all right, what can I eat this way I can get laid this week? All right, let me make a note here. All right, I'm gonna have to eat this garbage food for about a week straight, and then I can go out this night.
Yeah.
I did this as a result. Like it was because I would get paid at the beginning of the month, and then I would just go out and bang a lot of chicks and get drunk a lot, and then the rest of the month I would be like kind of like poor, and
Yeah.
I would
Better.
still set up.
Don't do that.
Pussy came ahead of your feeding. I love it.
Oh, come on, man. Are you kidding me? I've been there. Like, oh, look, I know this girl. Can I invite her to my house? And I'll give her $50 if she brings me some weed, and I'll fuck her all night. Oh, happy. And then you realize, like, what the fuck am I spending my money on, man?
My worst was when I went back to Phnom Penh when I met you, Nick. That was my worst like relapse when I just fucked up royally with I spent all my savings, and I also got paid less that month because of a VA issue, overpayment, and then they compensated on their end, and so I got paid less, and I had like a big relapse. Only time this ever happened to me where I just lost. I lost all sense, and I just partied like a rock star for like a week, and I spent all my savings, and it was the worst month I've ever had, and since I moved to Southeast Asia, well, since
right.
Cambodia, I don't know. Yeah,
I had months like that where I just blew it all.
I learned my lesson. That was the month that I met you, because right after that day that I met you was the beginning. Well, it was like 3 days
of
in.
your slide. I remember you messaging me at like 5 p.m. I'm just waking up. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You're living in some shady part of Phnom Penh. I'm like, oh, is this guy all right?
It was an adventure, but like the first week was epic. But I mean, I really partied like a rock star, and it was like an adventure. But then the final 3 weeks just sucked, and it was loud as fuck where I was staying. I couldn't sleep. It was a biker gang that lived there. Not Asian, but fucking American bikers with fucking Harleys, purposely revving their engines at all hours of the day. And I was just seeing everybody else getting hookers, because I was on a hooker street, and I had no money, barely even money for food, and I had to stay in the whole month. And then I found out, but the worst part was that's when I found out that Google was fucking me in the ass on my profits, and that's when I stopped making the videos, because I wanted to wait and see that pan out. But
I remember that whole ordeal. You're pretty pissed.
Yeah, that was the worst part.
You can understand that going through that kind of shit, man. There's a low moment, right? There's a low moment, right? Like, I've been through that shit. There's a low moment, like kind of hits you. I'm like, wait a second, something's not right here.
The only time I got freaked out living in Cambodia was when I tried smoking weed, and then I started freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing in this country?
Yeah, I don't like it. I get paranoid. Last time I smoked weed was
Yeah,
with
I get paranoid as hell too, man.
I
It's not
was
a good
with
feeling.
no Dick Coward. I smoked weed with No Dick Coward. You know him?
I love him. I know you don't like him. I really like the guy. I respect
What?
him
This
a
is a
lot. I give him
guy?
a lot of
This
credit.
is a guy? Who is this
His
guy?
name's
I
No
want to
Joke
know this guy.
Howard. I don't know. I
He's
haven't looked at his channel in months. I don't know what happened to him, but
he's in America. He's in America, and
No
he's
joke, coward.
now he's paying the Pied Piper with all his debts and bullshit that he did.
yeah. I got high
Yeah, he
at his place. They were doing hard drugs, and I was like, okay, I just because one fucking asshole was looking at me weird because I was sober. So I was like, all right, I'll have some of this weed here. And
well,
then I got paranoid.
he's the definition of the Phnom Penh slide, man. I mean, he got it
Yeah,
written right all across
exactly.
his face where he just couldn't.
He was about to kill himself before he left.
Yeah,
he was
I'm sure it's what happens
gonna
to a
kill.
lot of guys there. You know, it's a problem.
Not just guys there, dude, but guys everywhere. Guys slide into depression very easily.
Yeah, but in
Doesn't matter
America
who
and in the
it is.
West,
Doesn't help.
you have some safety net. I mean, there's people around you. You know, it's not in Cambodia. It's a whole different ball game.
No, in America, you have your family.
Right.
That's the difference. That's the only difference. You have your family. Your family can go, hey, I know this guy. He's my brother, my sister, my cousin. But when you're an expat in the rest of the part of the world, and then all of a sudden you're like in deep depression, I'm sorry, man, you're fucked. Like, there's nowhere to go. You can try to reach out to your family, but they don't know where you are.
It's really the Wild West. It's like a
Yeah.
cowboy in the Wild West. You really got to rely on yourself only, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's the big problem in Cambodia. I found that
So
you
if
really
you
are an
like-
island.
Yeah, if you like that, if you want that, then it's great. I do.
Yeah, it was good. I did some towards the end. I got really sick of it. I couldn't stand the other expats. I had a small group of friends that were really awesome and stuff, but I got sick and tired of it.
Okay,
And you have to be very diplomatic with Europeans and people from other cultures, and you can't. You know, I'm back in New York. I can be myself, and and other people get it. I can't do that in Cambodia.
You know what? I have a question for Hambali, guys. I want Hambali to tell me. Have you ever been an expatriate in a different country besides Indonesia?
Actually, the thing is, I'm Singaporean, but I came here.
Ah, okay. So you're Singaporean, but you went to Indonesia.
Yeah.
Now, how was that?
My father died when I was like 10, I guess. Yeah, and my mom needed a better deal, so she came over to Indonesia. Yeah, it was the riots, the 1998 riots, but yeah, I guess she saw business opportunities here, so she came over.
So your father died, but your mother decided to go to Indonesia, and that's where the opportunity is at that time. What year was
How old were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, how old were you?
2000.
Oh, how old were you?
So,
I was
like 10?
sixth grade, I guess. Yeah, 10.
10 years old.
Yeah, 12 years old. I was 12 years old.
So you came from Singapore to Indonesia because your father died and your mother thought it would be better there, and you're still there.
Yeah.
And who's your father now?
Yeah, my mom remarried when I was I think it was just a few years right after my first father, my real father died. Yeah, and that was when we came to Indonesia.
Oh, I see. So your sister is your half sister or your real sister?
I have two sisters. One of them is my half sister.
Oh, okay. But do you think that your original experience with your family has been an influence on how you believe now when it comes to either feminism or non-feminism?
I think the event of my dad dying, passing away, and me coming to Indonesia at such a young age, and that kind of gives me a culture shock.
Hmm.
And I think I'm not sure, but I think that's a small factor of um, why I feel like I don't have an identity or something, and I'm always looking for something new.
Hmm. So because of your experience as growing up, your mother and father, it gave you the opportunity to understand your identity differently than most
Yeah,
people might have. Yeah.
yeah. Because in Singapore, I was a minority. I was a Malay, whereas the majority of Singaporeans are Chinese.
Yeah.
So you get that kind of casual racism. And when I came to Indonesia, I thought it would be better because I'm a Malay. I'm dark skinned like the rest, but
Yeah.
it turns out that they still have racism over here. It's like you're a foreigner, so you're different from us. So pretty much most of my childhood and my teenage life was being ostracized and being an outcast. So I guess that's the reason why I always never saw myself fitting into any place.
Yeah. You can't win. You can't win over there, man. Trust me. Like if you're Singaporean and you come to Indonesia, you're an outcast. If you're Singaporean and you go to Malay, you're an outcast. If you're Malay and go to Singapore, you're an outcast, etc., etc., etc. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. That is right.
you can't get. There's no. The, this is the thing about Southeast Asia. It's very um, nationalistic. How else do you say it? Nationalistic. They understand this is where I'm from. This is where I'm from. If you're not from here, then we are going to judge you based on that. I mean, if you want to understand real racism, go to the Southeast Asia. That's where you'll understand real racism. In America, give me a break, man. Nobody gives a fuck if you're black or white or Chinese. They don't care. If you want to see real racism, go to Southeast Asia because they'll fucking tear you down for being the wrong
Yep,
color.
that's for damn sure.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. What do you think, Hambali? You think I'm true? I'm right?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. Especially if you're white. They always say that the Americans or the Canadians or anyone who's white have an easy time when they're over here. Yeah, maybe that's on the more the holistic side of it. Like people look at you like you're some kind of celebrity. But when shit happens, like when you get a crime, like
Yeah.
when you're accused of a crime or something, they really give you a hard time at the police station because they know that you're loaded. I mean, like even if you don't have any money, they're gonna assume that you have money anyway,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna keep you. They're gonna give you a hard time.
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah, sure,
if
yeah.
basically what he's saying is, and I've experienced this, if you are a foreigner, you might have some advantages because of that, but in the end, if your life is on the line, I'm sorry, you're dead. There's nothing you can do to help yourself. Your country's not going to help you. Your family's not going to help you. If they decide that you've made a mistake, no matter how small it is, you're done. And it's not a racist statement to say that. It's just reality. Like, if you are a foreigner in Canada, for example, you could be from Indonesia, you could be from Pakistan, you could be from Afghanistan. It doesn't matter. If you're a foreigner here, you're going to get some benefits actually that'll be better than the local people that live here. Because you're from Afghanistan, they're going to go, oh, look at this poor guy. He's from Afghanistan. Let's give him a chance. This is the polar opposite of what happens in those other countries. If you're in Indonesia, if you're in Afghanistan, you are going to die. Finished. You're going to jail and you're going to die. Sorry, I don't care where you're from. Do you understand? Lamprey, do you understand, David?
No, I completely agree. Yeah, I hear you, man.
Like I'm sick and tired of those concepts of like,
What?
oh, I'm a foreigner in America or Canada. Give me everything I want. What? Seriously?
Oh, well, that's coming to an end with at least in America with Trump. I mean, you know, that's coming to a fucking
I
freaking
hope
halt.
so. I hope so.
Me too. I really hope.
It'd be like I said, I'm at ground zero in New York, and there's more and more people that don't look like me every day.
It's fucking horrible, man. Like I don't understand the
It's starting to
concept.
feel strange. I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable about it. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm cool. I mean, I lived, you know, in the most segregated place on planet Earth in you know, Long Island in the borough region.
No, Long
Uh,
Island is a target. You are dead. Long
is
Island
what?
is world
We're
politics.
leaving. It's white flight big time where I'm at because of the taxes. But
You're still
yeah,
world
I mean
politics.
it's
You're
you
done.
know, demographically it's not good. You know, it's the population's really old here now, getting up there, baby
Yeah, you're gonna
boomers,
get
and
nuked. You're gonna get nuked. Done. You're done.
yeah, I can't get off. I got like, luckily I'm right by the water and there's some boats, but I don't know how far that's gonna take me.
This is the thing I don't understand. It's like, why do North American people believe that the concept of accepting immigrants into their country is like something beautiful and valuable?
It was cool when you let Europeans in, and then they took advantage and started flooding people from really bizarre countries in, and everyone's like, whoa, wait, we didn't say anything about some guy from Turkmenia.
But that's the whole point. It's like, do these people really understand the opposite? Like, if you were to flood into their country, do you think that you could
No,
just
because they're just trying to make money, and then also a lot of the new immigrants have dual citizenships and they have land in their other countries, so they're
yes,
making the money here, and then when they hit 50, they're just going to take whatever money they made and leave. And that's bullshit.
yeah,
I can't do the same
exactly,
thing.
exactly, man, exactly. I'm waiting for people to say that shit, man. It pisses me off. Like, these people are coming in with money. It's not an
Oh, I know.
accident.
It's not the ones on welfare I'm worried about, as everyone likes to pick. That's the funny thing. We're all looking at people on welfare. I go, whoa, this guy's coming with $500,000 buying up your neighborhood right now.
Yeah, like, give me a break, man. Like, these people are coming in with money. Like, they're coming in because they have money. You can't, dude. I've been an expatriate. You can't walk into another country as a holder of a passport of Canada or America. You can't walk into any other fucking country and just go, hey, I'm gonna buy this shit. I got all this money and I'm gonna buy it. You can't fucking do that, man. You can't fucking do that.
Even Mexico, they have laws that say you cannot change our demographics. Mexico
Who
will
said that?
always
I
be.
just heard that recently. Who said that on a YouTube channel recently? Someone did.
Well, a lot of people. It was on Business Insider, and Molyneux talks about it. Yeah.
Look, I don't know about Mexico. I don't know. But I've been in Southeast Asia, and I've been there as an expat. And you
Except for white
cannot,
countries.
yes, you cannot fucking walk in there and just go, hey, I'm going to buy this and this and this because I got money. Are you fucking kidding me, man? It's fucking ridiculous. I've never seen that ever happen before. I was almost in prison because my passport was 2 weeks expired from this mandatory 6 months. I was almost in prison. Like, there's no way that anybody from here could walk into any other country and do the same thing and go, oh, hey, I got some money. In fact, I'm going to make a business and do all this shit. You, holy Christ, man. I don't get it.
I know. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad news, man.
This shouldn't be happening.
It's not good.
No, it shouldn't be happening. Like, this shouldn't exist.
Well, again, white man's got his pension and his barbecue, and his daughter's fucking some moolie somewhere, and life's good, and he's got his health plan, he's got his backyard with his in-ground swimming pool and the hardwood floor, and he doesn't give a fuck.
That's the baby boomer.
That's a Jew.
It's not going to be
That's
us.
the baby boomer.
No, that's a Jew.
I just
not
summed
us.
up a baby boomer.
No, it's a Jew.
Don't touch my daughter's princess. She's number one. No man's good enough for her. Meanwhile, she's, fucking doing Oxycontin with some degenerate somewhere.
Look, man, like, what's happening is we're out of control in this country. Like, absolutely out of control. I mean, I'm seeing shit that I would be put in jail for if I was in Indonesia. If I tried to go to Indonesia today, and I could do it, I could buy a ticket, walk in. I could pay $100 to get a 1-month visa, and I could extend that visa by the fact that I didn't leave. I could try to stay there. And if they caught me, you know what would happen to me?
Mm-hmm.
Man? I would be thrown in jail so fast. And in fact, they wouldn't call Canada to tell me I'm there. They wouldn't care. I would be stuck there in a jail with nothing to do. And eventually, they'd probably be just like, you know what? We're sick of you. We're going to shoot you in the head. Done. You're finished. You're just some fucking Westerner here. We're going to shoot you in the head because nobody wants to talk to you and we can't find proof of anybody that thinks you exist. We're going to shoot you in the head. You'll die. We'll bury you in an unnamed grave, and that's the end of it.
I like that. That's Cambodia also.
Yes.
You foreigner. You don't look like me. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Just some baboon logic I respect.
That's what they would do, man. But in America, what you have is people going like, why are we so, how come we're so angry about people that want to come into our country?
I have not met anyone really like that. White women, that's about it. White women that don't like to hear the word no. That's about it.
Well, I hope you're right,
male
man.
feminists.
I hope you're right.
Allies, yeah.
Otherwise, America's doomed. Doomed.
I think it is doomed. I sent you guys the radio show I did recently, and that it was some rah Republican Reagan kind of a guy, and I was like, dude, we're finished. He's like, oh, that's really depressing that you say that. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you're talking about the topic of the conversation is how we're letting illegals vote, and you're gonna tell me that we're not sinking, we're not hovering over the abyss right now? Are you kidding me? Come on, man.
You know that Reagan made California a Democrat country forever, and basically made it into Mexico.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't talk ill about Reagan. He's the Oh my God, he fucking wasn't that fucking special.
He's an actor.
Yeah, he's no Donald Trump.
No, he's no Donald J. All right,
Yes,
don't be talking about Donald J.
He's an actor.
We're gonna do things. We're gonna make America great. I fought the stock market moves.
He's an actor. This is the thing.
Who,
He's a
Trump?
fucking actor.
No.
Yeah, to a point.
Trump
I
is
know
an
people that actually met
So
Trump. I know people that met Trump, and they all said he was a fucking awesome guy.
Reagan
So.
is an actor. Reagan was an actor. Like, we can't deny that. We don't
Reagan.
do that. Reagan, he was an actor. And then all of a sudden he's a president. It's like, oh, we have an actor as a president. Oh, let's look at this. Now I'm starting to think that I'm talking fucking, what do you call it? The Three Stooges. Now I'm the Three Stooges. Ha ha ha, Mo. Slap you. Ooh, slap. Ooh. That's the whole fucking thing, man. It's a joke. It's a goddamn joke. The whole thing is a joke.
Well, I think the whole thing with going on with North Korea seems to be a scary joke. I don't know
Yeah,
what they're thinking with that.
but what's the difference between that
Dude,
and the
we
1980s?
will get our shit. They get all mad whenever I say this to people. I go, we will get fucking our jaw rocked if we touch North Korea.
Yeah, but North Korea is just part of the joke. It's part of the joke. This is, hey,
No,
Mo. Hey, Mo.
I think there's really an attack on North Korea. They're not hooked into the banking system. They're isolated. They're cut off from like the globalized world, which they hate.
That's what they're supposed to be. That's why they're there, man. Imagine this. Look, I don't know a lot about this atrocity that they're trying to pull on us, but what I know is this: North Korea wants to push a bomb on Guam. Do you know Guam? Guam.
No, I don't think North Korea wants to do any of that.
But Guam is a military base that is east of the Philippines. It's like far southeast Pacific Ocean. Nobody's there. There's nobody there.
Right.
Look it up.
We're there, or we have a military base there.
Yeah, we have a military base there, but look it up. How many people are there? Very few. It's like a tiny
very few.
little island. Now imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine North Korea launches bomb. It hits Guam. And it rhymes too, by the way. Here comes the bomb. Hits Guam. Boom. Everybody's terrified. But who of us can actually go to Guam and prove that happened? None of us.
Yeah, good point. It could be a false flag. Give another false flag to drop bombs on people.
Of course it is, man. It's all it is. That's all these people do. They're just liars. They are liars, and they want control. They want fear. They want you to be afraid. And
fear. Fear. There's a Muslim lurking in the bushes.
Yes. And the beautiful thing about fear is that you can have an entire population of millions of people laying awake at night going, oh my God, a bomb is going to drop on my head.
Yeah, well, look at what happened when the movie Jaws came out. I mean, that's still like, that's still part of our culture, the movie Jaws, how people are petrified of sharks,
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible, man. There's no fucking bomb, man. Look, believe what you want to believe. I support it. Believe that the North Koreans have bombs that might land here, just like we did back in the 80s when we thought the Russians had bombs. But they never happened. They never happened. It didn't happen. It never happened. But we were afraid. It's happening again. We're all afraid of an enemy that we don't. You know what? What do you know about Kim Jong-un?
Listen, there's a lot of things about him that people don't talk about. The only American that actually met him was Dennis Rodman, and Dennis Rodman stated, you never gave him a chance. He's actually a really nice person, and you guys just shit all over him all the time. And if you look at his wife, his wife is pretty like modest and normal, and she actually looks like a nice person. So I really don't think he's an asshole like everyone thinks, everyone says.
Right. I'm going to put this in front of you. He's not a real person. He's not real.
Well, I don't know about this. You're getting a little carried away. What if we never went to the moon?
Dude.
How do you know we went to the moon?
How do you know he's a real person?
Because he's the third. His grandfather was the first leader, and then his father, and then him. I don't know. I never met the guy, but it's enough. There's enough historical documents to prove that the guy exists and he's real and he's a leader of North Korea.
Welcome to 1984, man. You're being manipulated. You're being manipulated.
Yeah, I'm not. You know,
The language.
it's getting a little far out there.
Hey, what do you think? Yes? No? Like, I'm offering you
No.
this.
No, he's the leader of North Korea. There's books. There's tons of books. The chef, his personal chef, wrote a huge biography on the family. It was fantastic, and you know they actually love America.
There's a big biography on the
Seth
Fantastic
Rogen.
Four.
What about the Seth Rogen movie? That was nice. The
Yeah,
interview.
Seth
didn't see
Rogen.
that.
It's a movie.
The interview. It was funny.
Yeah,
It was like the Dennis Rodman experience. Is what
but
that
you
movie
think that makes it real?
Yeah.
As a movie?
Yeah.
Really? Because a movie
No,
it
I'm
makes it
just
real?
fucking with you. No. But
That's my point, guys. Like seriously, let's think about it. Like, let's really think about where we are, right? I mean, let's not piss each other off. Let's really think about where we are here, man. What do we know?
You're pissing me off.
No, there's nothing going on. This is all talk. It is money. It is fear. Fear-mongering money. There is no nuclear weapons. Man,
Oh my God, you're getting really out there, man. What if nukes they never existed and the A bomb never really How do you know that Hiroshima really happened?
yeah, how do you know anything?
I think maybe ISIS isn't real. I will say that ISIS might be a complete fabrication. I have no problem saying. I think ISIS
so you have
might
a
be a load of
choice.
fucking bullshit.
You have a choice. But I'm not talking about nukes
We're not
being
really
unreal.
a computer program.
What I'm talking
How do you know
about
that-
is media is telling you something
We're not in
that's not
a
real.
video game.
Simulation.
What if we're in a video game right now and we're like asleep, but our mind is in a video game?
Oh,
Like
some
amazing.
David Icke shit you're pulling on me, MGTOW.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like I don't really buy it. I don't really buy
Well,
it.
how can you prove that?
Did you do acid?
No. How could you prove what you just said? We're just in a video game right now. How can you prove
What is
it?
this, object realism? This is getting a little too out there at the moment, man. Let's stick with some basic pragmatic thinking right now. I didn't smoke weed today, thank you. Nor do I plan on smoking anytime soon. You start getting, trippy and. So wait, are you? Well, let's go back. So what about the moon landing? You believe in the moon landing?
Do I believe in the moon landing?
Did we land on the moon?
No.
Stanley Kubrick
you
involved?
honestly wait. You honestly believe we didn't land on the moon,
No.
dude? Oh my God, God
You
help
actually
me.
believe it? You actually believe we landed on the moon?
I think you're just fucking with me at this point.
No, I'm not fucking with you. I'm serious. Did you honestly believe we landed on the moon? Based on the technology,
what reason would I believe?
1969 technology, we landed on the moon. And what evidence do we have besides the
So
photos?
we pulled all that shit off. We made all that industry, all that technology, all those type of things just to fake it. Is that what you're telling me?
Wait, we did it.
So that rocket really didn't go off into space. Not just one. Okay, there was close to 10 of them that went into outer space, right?
1969 to 74, there was five landings on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all those
there was more than that.
You see, you don't
11,
even know.
12, 11,
You don't even know
12,
that. You don't even know
14,
that.
15, 16. Yeah, I think 16, 6 or 7 went.
Yeah. And then, what's the evidence that we did go? Give me the evidence we did go. Show it to me.
There's
What about the evidence that
No, show me
atomic
the
bomb was
evidence that
dropped?
we did go.
Didn't Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin sock some guy in the face for opening his mouth about it too? To being just how fucking stupid this conversation
Okay,
is.
so you can punch somebody in the face, but that proves it's true, right? No, it doesn't.
Oh my God.
You know it doesn't. You know it doesn't. You know it doesn't.
What else do we need to prove? Like that the atomic bomb was dropped?
Barefoot,
No.
Bigfoot.
Just stick with the moon. Prove
Or
what happened. Show us
Opens
the
up a
evidence.
whole can of worms of what is real and what's not real.
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm not real.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this
God.
is-
If you actually ask people for evidence, oh my God, something different.
1 plus
Oh
1
my
does not
God.
equal 2. What if 2 doesn't exist? That's a social construct, the number 2. What
Jesus
if 2
Christ.
really means pretzel?
We didn't land on the moon.
Right? Well, why does it have to be 2? Now you're sounding like a liberal. This is where this is going. Maybe
I'm
I
not a
can
liberal.
identify as a
I'm not
woman.
a liberal.
You know, I can identify as Neil Armstrong. Yeah,
I'm
why
not
not?
a
I can be Neil. I prove that I'm not Neil Armstrong.
No, you believe.
And maybe
you
Neil
were on the
Armstrong's
moon.
not dead. He's
Believe
living
it.
on the moon.
Show me evidence that proves that we were on the moon. Show it to me. Show it to me. Come on. I'm right here. Go
I
on
don't understand.
Google.
You
Show
want
me
me
the
to?
evidence.
You want me to go to the moon and prove it? Like I don't
No,
understand
I
what you're
want
trying
you
to
to
get at. I mean, there's so many
want you
people
to
that have
give
debunked
me
this.
evidence to prove that we were on the moon. Go ahead. I'm there.
I don't know, photos, you know,
Burden of it.
testimony. Like I don't know, what you
Burden of
know.
proof. Burden of proof. Show me testimony, photos, everything. Go ahead. Show it to me. Where is it? Find it.
The one that really debunked it
technology
was that they left a reflector, like some type of solar panel on the moon, and they shot the beam up to the moon where the reflector was, and they got the signal back. I mean, that was a pretty.
Show me a link to that information.
I will. I'm not going to do it now, but I'll definitely send to you after this is over.
No, but you believe that, right? You believe it.
Yeah, I definitely believe that we landed on the moon. Absolutely.
But you can't show me the information right now because, you know.
Oh, well, I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm not going to start, scrummaging through Google images and Google search to find the video and stuff.
Fair enough. I understand. Fair enough. But I'm seriously, I want to see the evidence that it's not.
This is ridiculous, man. I can't believe you're actually having this conversation right now.
Oh, because
the Earth's not flat.
You know why? Do you know why? Do you guys want to know why?
Well, explain to me why they would fake it. How's that?
Instead
of doing all that work, all that research, all that time, all that effort and energy and everything to fake something like that.
Okay, I don't know that, but I will tell you why I will.
Okay, so that's why it sounds ridiculous. You understand?
No.
And I've had this conversation before with someone about the moon landing. Okay, why did they do it? To up Russia one. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
I don't give a shit about why they did it. I want you to show me how they did it. That's it. But you can't. How did they do it? Show me it. But you can't.
A rocket.
Look, with a rocket.
The most powerful engine, man-made engine, man-made structure that was non-nuclear, the Saturn V rocket. That's what they did it with.
Look, man, I don't know either way. This is the whole point. I don't know either way. But I am 100% sure that you cannot give me real evidence that it did happen. I know that because I've tried it and it doesn't come up. You can go off and try and find it. Go find the real evidence to show me they went to the moon. Put it in front of my face. I'll be a skeptic about it every time.
Maybe Indonesia doesn't exist. Have you been? I mean, you've been to Indonesia. I'm going by your testimony. I have to go by Neil Armstrong's testimony also about being to the moon, you see?
Well,
I mean, you see where you have to have references and sources for these things.
Have I showed you videos and evidence of it?
I'm not. Hey, look, I wasn't there, man. That's just going by your word. You know, I'm not. You know,
have I showed you videos and evidence?
Java might be just a social construct.
Hey, you're in New York. You know what? You can tell me.
Am I really in New York right now?
I don't know. Send me video and photos, and I'll test.
I can send you a location, but then again, I can manipulate my location, make you believe I'm really in New York.
Exactly. Send me video. Send me photos, and I'll.
But you still want to be convinced, so I can throw as much information at you, and you still want to be convinced.
Any information at me, anything you want, man, and I will look at it, try to understand it, and I will scrutinize it. But I will tell you one thing I will not do is just say, "Oh, obviously everything I've learned is real, so I have to accept this reality." Obviously.
Okay, hello guys. Hello. Hello.
Go on. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna just edit here right now because I gotta go get lunch.
Let this
Same
man
here. I
speak.
gotta.
All right. You go
Well,
get a
before his
happy
lunch.
from your feminist girlfriend
Yeah.
and some lunch.
Yeah. Thanks for your time. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Come and
Chris. Yeah.
enjoy the
Let
convo
him
again,
talk.
my friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Say your thing, man, and we're done.
No, no. I got nothing else to add. Hello.
See, you scared him. Nice going.
Keep going. Keep going.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna get lunch. If you need me to get back, you just give me a message.
No, that's not what we need. We need you to sign out with your message of
Oh, okay.
everything you've heard and said today. Sign it out. Say your message. Go.
Yeah. Stop. Yeah. Don't stop challenging yourself. Explore new things, and you keep an open mind. Yeah. That's all, I guess.
That's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Hey, not bad.
Awesome. I like
Not
that.
bad.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Pretty to the point, man.
It was nice to meet you, brother.
Okay.
Trust me, man. This guy's awesome. Like I know him indirectly, but I've talked to him. No, he's a good guy.
Well, you converted him, so he's a MGTOW Muslim. Go
I did
figure.
convert him. He hates me. He hates my everything I say. He hates it. Right?
No, I don't know. Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, but you don't. You're not a big.
Hey, there's one thing that unites the both of you. That's Allah. Never forget it. All right.
Yes. Allah. Hey,
Allah Akbar.
Allah. Allahu Akbar. And I swear to God, kita dua-duanya ngerti sampai dulu Allahu Akbar. Ya?
Awesome.
Bener nggak?
Assalamualaikum.
Bener nggak?
I don't know what you said. Okay. I gotta go now. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks,
I'll see you
brother.
again. Okay. Okay.
Bye bye. Oh man, I just said to him, like, we understand as Muslims we are together. So you
Yeah,
guys,
he had no idea what you were saying.
no,
which
he
makes it
knew
even fun.
exactly what I was saying, man. He knew exactly what I was saying, but he didn't want to be a part of that
Why not?
because
I'm down for a little jihad.
He's
Who's not
trying.
down for a little jihad action?
He's trying to be different.
Get your jihad on.
He's trying to be different. He's trying to like change. Like, look.
Oh, that's good. Introduce more liberalism to him.
Can you imagine a Muslim guy like that can speak English that well? Like he understood everything we said. 95% of what we said, he understood it, right? And that guy is willing to fucking come here and talk to us, even though his Muslim girlfriend said, "Go fuck yourself. I don't want you to do it." And he still did it. Like, come on, man. That guy knows.
Yeah, up to him. He does what he wants. He can't control anybody. You can take advice. You can take some cues from people, but it's up to you at the end of the day.
I didn't even know if he'd be able to talk to us. Honestly, I didn't even know. But he did, and he listened. Like the fucker listened. I wanted to give him more of an avenue, but man, he listened. He just sat there and he fucking took it. He took it like a fucking cuck, right in the ass.
So anyway,
So, on that note, I'd like to sign off too. I want to let you guys know, everybody know, I'm releasing a video like here. I got a new video every week, once a week. Yeah, I got to get to work on my new stuff.
MGTOW Expat is doing a video a week, once a week. Please go to his channel. I will put it in the low bar. And MGTOW Expat, give me the link and I'll put it down.
So yeah, I'm on my phone. I can't really do anything at the moment.
Just do it later. Doesn't matter.
I will.
Later. It'll all work.
all right.
And my internet is shitty, so it's like going in and out too. So sometimes it's hard to hear what you said. But anyways,
You know why? It's because you're in fucking Asia, man.
Yeah, and I'm at a hotel, so it's like I don't
Yeah, that doesn't
control
help
the
either.
internet.
He's in a third world hotel. What is he?
He's in a third world
The
hotel.
Wi-Fi connection should be the least of your worries.
The worst of your worries is like, is some asshole gonna fucking
Malaria,
it tonight?
diarrhea. I think diarrhea. See, where he stays, man, I had the worst food poisoning and the worst diarrhea, and it was just horrible. I have nothing but PTSD from where he's staying at, and that's for damn sure.
He's like, sorry guys,
So
my
Nick,
Wi-Fi is cutting out, but my asshole's okay.
shit, my connection is going in and out.
Yeah.
Hey Nick, can you tell us because you have a lot of bad things to say about Cambodia and Southeast Asia, but what about living in America? Which one is better? I mean, because
They're totally different. So I wouldn't say one's better than the other, because it's just totally different. It's that's all. Do I miss Cambodia? Yeah, for sure. But I was making a lot of money while I was living there, so my expectations and kind of like, I guess, my lifestyle in order to keep that going was pretty difficult.
Yeah. It
You
really
know
does
that.
depend on what you're making there.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing really well for a while, and I was not gonna lower my standard after, doing what I was doing. And long term, being at my age, it wasn't a very smart idea because, God forbid, I had to go back 10 years later with no real job experience or living in Cambodia and being in that type of environment and culture for an
Ooh, try
extended
that.
time would not be really good.
No, try
all right, I
that.
gotta go. It's hard to hear you guys because my internet is so
Ah,
shitty. But I gotta go.
That's because you
I gotta
got
get to work on my upcoming stuff too.
all right.
Take it easy,
We'll
man.
talk.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Take
All right,
care.
thanks, brothers.
All right.
Yeah, and we got the upcoming first weekend of. Hopefully we'll all be together on
We'll be
my
here.
live stream.
We'll be here. We'll be here on
Yeah.
MGTOW Expat live stream beginning of the next month in September. Trust me, we will all be here
And
plus more.
I
Sorry?
am serious. You look for your
Yes.
name in the credits on my videos. I don't know if you noticed that last week.
Okay, I will. Yeah, and
All right, guys.
we'll be around for his next podcast. Trust me. Go to his channel. I'll put it in
Today.
the link.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm about to release a video right now
Yeah.
about
And
why. As soon as I get off, I'm gonna release a video, and it's about why living in America for me is alienating as fuck, and relatively speaking, how Southeast Asia does not alienate me at all, like in comparison.
Okay, perfect. And I
I
will
think
send me the link, and I'll
I
put
know
it in
exactly
the
what he's
link.
talking about.
I'll put it in the video for this. I'll put the link in. Well, I'll put your channel in.
Yeah, I'll leave it in the comments, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'll leave comments for anybody, you and anybody, and your comments on the video once it's released. I'm releasing a video like as soon as I get off, but then I'm also getting to work on my next stuff because I got a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah, you gotta
Including one
understand.
that's a 2-hour.
Yeah, you gotta understand. MGTOW Expat is a real expatriate MGTOW that is going through the shit right now in another part of the world, as I used to be. So I want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to his channel, understand what he's going through, and listen to what he has to say. Very important, man. Trust me.
I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And your channel definitely had an influence on me for sure. It was a lot of meaningful stuff on your content.
And that's the point. That's the point. You try to help people where you can, and you do it the best way you can. And trust me, man,
Absolutely.
I've been the highest and I've been the lowest, and everything in between. Everything in between. And there's nothing incredible about that. It just is what it is. All right, man. I'll talk to you later, eh?
Yes. Later.
And Lamprey, you
All
still
right.
there?
Yep.
You still there? You got something else you want to talk
Yeah,
about?
I'm here.
Yeah. What do you got? You got something else?
It's up to you, man. I could go a little bit. I could go a little bit longer if you
I
want.
know.
I'm still
We
got some. I still
we
got
got
some
some.
juice in me.
Yeah, you got some good opinions. So, of everything we talked about already, what do you think is the most important?
I guess when you're talking to your buddy in Indonesia, I thought that was kind of cool that he's trying to get some different views on things, get a different opinion on life. I think that's really I mean, for someone
Yeah,
where he comes from and his background, it's a little bit hard to break that mold.
yeah. But you're like straight up New Yorker, right?
Correct.
So, I, I'm not concerned about his opinions. I want to know your opinions, actually.
On as far as what goes.
Well, what we talked about. Let's talk about international politics. Like, what's
Oh
hot?
man, it's I try to I just peek at the news every morning and see what's happening. I after the election, I kind of like a major political hangover, and I got really sick of it. And that was kind of it. And once I moved back to America, I kind of you're busy working and stuff. You can't really spend time learning and knowing and
But that's the
uh,
difference, man. I want to know the difference between you being there and you being here now.
I don't have as much free time. I'm just constantly working and figuring out, plotting my next move and where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. So while I was in Cambodia, I had much more free time to sit, read books, talk with friends, learn a little bit more about the world, be a little more philosophical. I do miss those aspects of being an expat in Southeast Asia. That's for sure.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, no doubt. If God willing, if I don't have kids and things go right, I'm definitely going to retire and move back over there. If that opportunity still presents itself. I mean, Cambodia and Southeast Asia is obviously going in a very different direction. I don't think they'll have
Yeah.
the same visas and openness in the future.
Yeah. Well, you got to play the game, man. You got to play the game with the countries. And
Well, they're marching towards what we have in the West, and
yes.
there's only a matter of time before you start receiving credit card bills and mortgage bills and what have you in the mail in Cambodia. It's only a matter of time
Yeah.
before that happens.
Yeah. I said to MGTOW Expat, I said, like, look, man, if I could tomorrow, I'd fucking be on a plane back to Indonesia. But then when he told me about what's going on in Cambodia, I'm like, wait a second, maybe I would be on a plane there. Maybe that's where I would go.
I he stays away from a lot of the politics and stuff that goes on in Cambodia. I think I speak the language better than he does, and I kind of submersed me. He's more like a fly on the wall living there. He kind of avoids the people. He's really gone his own way
Mm,
and veered away from a lot of things that go on
mm.
within the country. I didn't. I tried to learn them, try to understand them,
Try
learn
to
their
adapt. Yeah.
thinking. Yeah, I had to work with them. He doesn't have to work around
Yeah.
them, which to his
Absolutely.
benefit.
Yeah, that's the biggest
You
difference.
know.
That's the biggest difference. I when I was there, when I was in Indonesia, I had to work with them. Like I had to fucking sit down at a table and agree or disagree with them. And it seems to me that
Which means you have to agree.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it seems like he just he doesn't have to do that, and
No,
that's
he
fine.
doesn't. And that's a good thing and a bad thing in a sense.
Yeah,
So like when I ask him about what's going on with so and so, he's like, I have no idea. I don't pay attention to any of those things.
Yeah, but in the end, it depends on what you're doing, but you do have to know what's going on with those things.
I completely agree with you.
Like you have to understand, like, what do people agree with in my little neck of the woods, and what do they not agree with, especially if you're a foreigner, man.
Right.
And this is why I said, if you want to be an expatriate, the number one rule is do not make any enemies. Zero
Mhm.
enemies. You don't want a single enemy. So you decide for yourself what needs to be done to make that happen. That's up to you. But the rule is don't make any enemies. Number one.
And don't make waves either. I mean, Indonesia seems a little bit more violent than Cambodia from a bird's eye perspective.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, as an expatriate, especially from a North American, European country, right? Our culture, the kind of things we understand. When you come to places like this, the number one rule is do not make an enemy. That's it. Full stop.
With a local, especially.
With anybody, man. You're just like you're friends with everybody. Even if it makes you look like an idiot, even if you lose somehow, you are their friend. Done. You're not their enemy. Because the moment you are their enemy, you have no friends. You have no friends. You have no. There's no back door anymore. Like, trust me.
Yeah, I just I don't miss I do not miss the expatriate community in Cambodia, and I mingled a little bit with the adjacent countries and met with other foreigners, and they're all rejects from the West as far as I'm
Mostly,
concerned. I'd
yes.
say 90% of them are
Bullshit.
socially awkward.
Yeah.
There's a couple other expat channels from Cambodia and Vietnam and Thailand, and I met some of them, and they were just not nice people.
You're
And
absolutely right.
it takes a very strange person to move to such a foreign land. It's not like you're moving from New York to Paris or New York to Milan. You're
Absolutely.
choosing the joke in America is Southeast Asia is the asshole of the world. I'm like, why are you
Well,
moving to
it's
the
like
asshole of the world?
it's not just moving to another. Look, moving from Paris to Milan, or I mean, I'm sorry, New York to Milan, or New York to Paris, or New York to London. I mean, that's like going from the Earth to the Moon, right? But if you
Right.
move into Southeast Asia, you're going to fucking Mars or Venus, man. Like, it's
Right.
you don't understand anything, nothing. You understand nothing, and we're all on the same fucking planet, but we still understand nothing about how we communicate, talk, take a shit, like even take a
Right.
shit.
Prepping food, having
Yeah,
sex.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, just to do that is incredible. So that's why I said the number one rule is don't make an enemy.
Yeah, I
Everybody's your
don't. I
friend.
don't remember if I really. I'm just trying to recall like people that I couldn't stand while living there. I hated most of them,
Yeah,
honestly.
of
I
course you
really
will.
think they're all just.
Don't make them your enemy.
I really don't like British people. I hate British people, and I
I
hate
hate British
the
people
Dutch.
too.
Yeah, I really think they were not nice. Australians were okay. I don't know. I like the French. The French were really cool. Germans were really cool. Scandinavians were really weird. They were very foreign to me. I'm like, they were like, what the hell? What planet do you guys come from?
Oh,
But yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed it. It made me a better person, and it's definitely helped me better myself moving back to America. No doubt about it.
no, it's better to be among the people that you understand. Because trust me, man, like I had the same experience as a foreigner there. Like you don't run into, like, if you're an American or a Canadian and you happen to be in a place where a lot of foreigners congregate. You know, maybe a bar, a pool hall, a nightclub, whatever. You congregate together, right? And like, hey, you're from Canada. I know you, right?
Right.
And then you talk to them, and you get to know them, and you make a friendship, because guess what? Oh, you're from New York? Yeah, I'm from New York. Well, guess what? I'm from fucking Toronto, or I'm from England. I'm from Australia. There's a connection. There's a Western connection when you're traveling. Like, you understand it, you believe it, it works. But in the end, you're not the same people, and you realize that people come to these countries to basically blow their load where they can't get away with it in their own place. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, most guys. I mean, look, I like the whole concept of people traveling, and I don't know guys that like to travel. If guys are looking to travel, they're trying to get fucking laid. It's not like they want to go see some historical temple or some shit. They're looking for fucking pussy when they're traveling. And for women traveling, at least in America, it becomes like a one-up thing. Oh, I did this better than you. Oh yeah, well I backpacked through the Himalayas. For guys, it's like, I don't want to fucking do that. I just want my dick touched.
Yeah.
Chris, send me a link or something.
Wait, hold on 1 second there.
Wait, someone's joining us?
I think so.
So anyway, let's go back to what we originally the topic was MGTOW related issues.
Yeah.
So I'm working on just the general narcissism with Western women, and I'm starting to realize that how much Disney has become much more prevalent in American culture all of a sudden with women that are
They
in their
own
20s, mid-20s. Well, it's something with Disney. I don't know what's going on with this whole Disney fetish for a woman that's much older. And, you're supposed to get over Disney when you're like 10 years old. And now I'm seeing this big influx of women starting to like Disney all over again in their much later years, which I find to be very strange.
Well, the question I have is why are we still saying the name Disney? Like, what is it about Disney that makes this?
It's fantasy. It's fantasy.
That's the thing, man. It's fantasy.
It's fantasy, and I see a lot of women that are now trying to live a fantasy life or an imaginary life. It's very strange what this is doing and what it's becoming. I mean, you're supposed to move on with those things, yet women seem to be regressing back to an infantile stage, to early childhood, trying to live out a Disney movie.
Yeah. Look, this is the thing, man. Women are not the same as men. The difference is that women are very attracted to simple ideas. If you give a woman a simple idea, wait.
Add me to the channel, dude.
Are you here?
Yep, the channel stopped all of a sudden.
Are you here?
It's spinning.
Huh? What?
You need to send me a friggin' link, dude.
I did.
I can't just join it. You need to send me a link to the YouTube live chat.
Okay. Okay, hold on a second here. Okay. Hey, can you still hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. I gotta invite another guy to the chat that was supposed to be here.
Well,
beginning.
Well, the stream looks like it stopped.
Yeah. We still got 10 viewers, so whatever.
Yeah, no, but it's spinning on my end. I'm seeing if was able to.
We still got 10 viewers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fucking whatever. It's leftovers of what I've created, so I'm okay with it.
It's
But
leftovers.
yeah, basically, because I used to have a big channel, but then I moved. I got married, divorced, ran away, fucking all that shit I told you about, and now I'm picking up the pieces. I got to pick up the pieces, just like everybody else. Pick up the pieces. Pick up the pieces from your life. That's what you do. You know.
All right, I just want to make sure that we're actually still on before I start rambling again.
No, we're on.
So anyway, I've been working on a lot of writings. Hopefully, if I get a little bit more free time, I'm trying to just solidify my stance on a lot of MGTOW, the flaws of MGTOW, which there are tons. There's definitely needs to be a lot of criticism within the MGTOW community and its
Absolutely.
issues, which don't seem to want to be addressed. I don't believe in a lot of these false icons. I know MGTOW Expat loves Molyneux. I'm not a. I like Molyneux. Don't get me wrong, but he's definitely has his. He picks and chooses battles. He doesn't want to touch certain topics, along with many other YouTube channels that don't want
Well,
to do.
you did a whole shit with it. You did a whole. That was beautiful, actually. The talk you did with him.
Yeah, I really a lot of people love it. I thought it was retarded. I really did.
Awesome.
I was not it was not my proudest moment, that's for sure. That's probably the bottom list of moments that I regret.
Well, the thing
I couldn't get my point across. He wouldn't let me get my point across, and that's part of his shtick.
Of course he wouldn't. He wouldn't let you. He wouldn't let you get your point across, and that's his shtick, and that's what he does.
I felt bad. I was pretty pissed.
But it's something, man.
I guess I just it'll get lost in the sands of time on the internet. That's for sure.
It will. It will.
Hopefully.
Everything does. Everything gets lost in the sands of time. Pretty soon, nothing exists anymore. And in the end, all we're worried about. Yeah, in the end, we're worried about, like, what did Bush say? I'm sorry. What did Trump say? What did fucking what's his name? Kim Jong-un. What did he say?
Right.
And where is that going to lead us? Really? Where is that going to lead us?
Yeah, nowhere.
Nowhere, man. It's going to lead us to fucking nowhere. Right. And we're going to keep talking about it as if it was real. What a load of shit.
Right. Yep. We're just on this. We're only here for a very short period of time, man.
You know what's real? You and me talking. That's real. That's real.
But what I'm curious about is, what do you see as far as women on the West Coast? Like, what are your social observations of them in public? What are your
in public?
Yeah, in public, what do you see? I mean, I'm a social observer. A lot of my writing is based on observation of Western women in a social setting. That's a lot of my writing is based on that.
My opinion or my observations of women in the Western social setting, especially since I've been back, is that they are mostly very hedonistic.
And what do you mean by that, though? You use that word quite often, but I'm trying to understand, like, what your definition of it is, and what do you mean? What do you see?
Well, hedonistic to me, especially for women, it's just like pleasure of the self. I mean, that's the definition: pleasure of the self. Women are they're so determined to look upon themselves as being pleasured. Give me pleasure, whether it come from you or myself. I want pleasure. Okay, and they're narcissistic, which means they want attention. Like, women basically want to stick an object in their pussy and let other people know that they're doing it. Like a lot of women are like that, and I don't understand it. I'm like, what happened? Why?
Well, the one thing I found very strange coming back is how much more attention seeking we are versus women in, let's say, Indonesia or Cambodia. Cambodians don't, the women don't really, they're not seeking attention.
Yes.
I mean, of course, everyone loves attention, but there's not this overt like I need to be looked upon. I need an attention supply.
Well,
They're
that's narcissism. Narcissism
yeah, it's
is,
narcissistic supply. Yes, I
yeah,
know.
it's basically an unhealthy, it's an unhealthy need for attention to the self. That is narcissism. And a lot of women are like that here, but it's not just that. They also are hedonistic, which means they need to have pleasure with that, like self pleasure. I mean, women are sticking all sorts of garbage up their cunts on video, on camera, and making money.
Well, that's fueled by guys, though. I mean, make no mistake about that.
It's not, it's not fueled by
Guys
guys.
are fueling that.
It's not fueled by
Of
guys.
course it is. Who's
No, it
looking
is.
at it? You think other girls are, you think other women are looking at it? No, guys are
No,
looking at it.
guys are looking at it. Guys are obviously looking at it. But you have to understand, why do you need this narcissistic understanding of yourself? Look, yes, of course, a guy is going to look at you shoving something up your cunt, but do you need to do it? Like, who's stopping you from doing it?
Well, she has nothing else to offer.
Yes, exactly. And she's going to
know.
do it because she's making money, and it is her as a person. That's what they do. Women are narcissistic.
Well, yeah, well, but again, that's a American, North American concept. That's part of the individualism, and you have to understand we throw the word narcissism around a little too broadly. The Americans are
Not enough with
they have
women.
a right. Well, women tend to have narcissistic traits when they're younger because that's when they receive the most attention from
Tell
guys.
tell tell
Once they
that to the
usually
30-year-olds posting their pictures on fucking Facebook.
Yeah, but no one's paying attention to those women
Yes,
anymore.
they are. There's tons of men, and this is the whole
Oh,
point.
dude,
There's
those
tons
guys
of
are
men.
fucking retarded.
Yeah, fine. They might be retarded, but the point is, women will use the only value they have to the last extent they can do it. They will use it. They will use
Oh,
their tits.
but they'll keep using it. Yeah, of course. I mean,
The
but
moment,
obviously, no one's really following a 35-year-old's Instagram pictures nearly anymore.
well, it depends on how old the man is that's watching it, and it depends on how well she's taking care of herself. But the point is, a woman's only option is narcissism, herself, her beauty, her looks, her youth. That's all she has. And she'll milk it till she can't milk it anymore.
All right, but that's for a select few. I mean,
Well,
those
it's all,
women are the ones that are attractive. A woman that's a fat, obese, in a wheelchair, or has
they,
some disorder, she's gonna have to bring something else to the table besides her vagina.
yeah, but she's dead in the water. But the point is like feminism has allowed her an avenue to exist longer. Like her wall has extended 5 to 10 years because feminists said, "Hey,
I
fat
disagree.
women are
No
attractive
one wants
too.
30-year-old man. At the end of the day, no guy
Fat
wants
women."
to. Guys are not going to be too keen on banging some old fucking
Yeah,
bitches. I mean,
but what we're talking about is manipulating the minds of men and women when it comes to sexual convergence. Basically, what we're having here is fat women going, "Oh, feminism says I'm pretty too. I'm pretty too. Look how fat I am. I'm pretty."
yeah. Well, they can say all they want. They know it's not reality.
They're just trying to manipulate the reality of what men like. They can do what they want, but it'll work. It will
Well,
work.
look at the most popular porn stars are not skinny little fucking broads. They're actually pretty big ass women. And then you look at the most popular porn stars also don't have tattoos. So, what
Well, it's not
sells
just
is
porn. It's not just porn. I mean, porn is a big thing about it. It's not just porn. I mean, young men, remember when you were like 12, 13, 14, 15 years old as a male, and you saw a picture of a woman, you didn't have to see her in some kind of pornographic pose. You didn't have to see her completely naked. All you needed was like a little bit of tit.
yeah.
That's all you needed. And you were like, whoo, it turned you on. Man. That's all you needed.
Right.
But now,
But you see, yeah, go on.
no, keep going. Sorry.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because we're now where women are now like almost like naked now in the
Yeah.
West. You become desensitized to it where it's really not appealing anymore. Now, while I was in Cambodia, the women are they're covered head to toe, and as soon as I saw a little bit of skin, it was like I was a 15-year-old again.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, so it had like an opposite effect. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to see more. I want to see what else she's got. Where if she's, I'm walking around the mall today with my best friend, these 18, 19-year-old girls, and you see like the bottom of their ass cheeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't even really do anything for me.
Absolutely.
So it's actually, I'm writing about that, how it's actually reversed where guys have become so desensitized to it that way. You see it, and that's enough to be stimulated that you don't even want to pursue it.
Yeah. Yes. Holy fuck. I'm sorry. I was trying to get around to that. It took me a while to get around to that point, but
Right. So the burqa, in a sense, you see when a woman's in a burqa, you don't see it. But let's just say hypothetically, you can see her face and you can see somewhat of an outline of a figure. You're like, oh, I'm a little bit intrigued. Let me see what's underneath the hood. If you already see what's underneath the hood, you're like, fuck it. I'm really, I can go home, have a wet dream or whatever to it, and I'm good for the day.
well, the idea is that women have let me put it this way. Women are a part of society where their value is based on their looks, their sexuality, their being. Men are not. Men are based on what they can do. What can you do? Can you build a house? Can you fix a car? Men are people doing. Women are people being. They just exist. And this is the thing. If you understand that, then what happens is if you try to cover up what women are, then all you're going to have is more attention on what they can be. And that's the way it's always been. It's the way it always will.
Well, they're dropping the ball because even with divorce court and the cost of raising a family and stuff, guys are still willing to get married, but unfortunately, a lot of these women don't have the right skills to be in a marriage. Guys still do.
Yeah,
guys
they can.
still do guys still have the ability to be in a marriage and hold it down. Women do not.
They can't.
These women they like, yo, can you cook this? Can you do that? Like, no, I can't do that. And, right. What about, can you handle looking over my bank account or whatever? No, I can't do that either. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck can you do besides me fucking you?
Worth.
Nothing. So I'm like, you know what? You're pretty much useless to me. And that's also fueling women not having sex anymore. There's, a lot of things, I mean, Molyneux's dead wrong. And a lot of guys his age don't understand that the women in the West are not having sex at all. They have the sex drives of grandmothers. They don't do shit. I'm serious. Women have an ability to turn it off like overnight, like the snap of a finger. They can go the rest of their lives without having sex. It's not an issue for them.
No.
For guys, it's an issue, and a lot of Molyneux thinks women are out there screwing everything. A lot of conservative talk radio guys think of this also. They're not doing anything. And it's a very simple figure is that there's no children. That if women were still having sex, women want to have babies. That's a fact. I mean, that's just like guys wanting to get laid, women want to have babies. The aspect of this is that women are completely turned off their sex drive because number one, guys don't really want to get married because the women don't have the skills for marriage. That
Hey,
women have all
hold on
their
a second, man.
resources.
I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back.
All
Hold on.
right. So he's gonna go take a piss, and I guess I'll keep on rambling. Women don't. First, women don't really like sex. You kind of have to like force it on them, and then they kind of give in to like, oh, all right, yeah, that feels pretty good. So that's the one thing about women, and a lot of guys keep chasing, thinking women have the same sex drives as men, which is fueling a lot of problem with like social media apps, and Instagram and Tinder is another good example of how Tinder has completely plummeted. I mean, that worked for like a few months, and then it completely fell apart because guys would be swiping right, I think, right? That's when you like someone, swiping right to everything they see. You want some dick? Oh, do you want some dick? Oh, do you want dick? And women just like, oh, fuck this. I'm not gonna bother with this social app anymore. And yeah, women are gonna have sex with a complete stranger. Like, obviously not. That's not gonna happen. And for whatever reason, guys that are lowbrow, Neanderthal, and stupid, they continue to keep fueling the fire and adding to the problem. So anyway, how many people? 8 people watching. All right. You guys leave a post? Are you guys out there?
Hey, man. Sorry, I really had to piss. I was holding that for a while. Okay.
It's all right.
Ugh. But what
So
you're
anyway,
saying? Yeah, go ahead.
I was talking about how a lot of guys continue to fuel the fire. And even my best friend, he's following women on Instagram that he's never met. I go, why are you doing that? That's a very stupid, stupid idea to be doing such thing. You're fueling the narcissism. You're fueling the attention, the gratification. What you're supposed to do in order for a woman to get a guy's attention, you're supposed to fuck. You're supposed to put out.
Yeah.
You're not, you don't get, you're raping my time.
Mm.
You're taking my time away from me. Why should I give you my time? You understand that that's what it's
Yeah.
about. You're giving your time, you're giving your energy away and getting absolutely nothing in return.
Absolutely. And and that's really what MGTOW is supposed to be. It's about time, energy, conservation.
Okay, but now who's going to fill the gap? So you have all these white guys now that are completely checking out of reality. Guess what's going to move in? Then you have other people from the races and nationalities that are going to
Yeah.
just come in and take your women
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the whole
because they're
point.
more aggressive.
Yeah. They're very more aggressive. I mean, if you consider the uh, Middle Easterns that are coming into Europe and the North Americas, these people don't give a fuck. They're like, I'm coming in here. I know I'm going to reproduce. I have no concept of healthy reproduction or anything like that. I'm going to come in here,
No,
make babies. I'm going to reproduce. I'm going to become a part of your population. That's it. And they love it. And it's okay. They'll do it. And they laugh. They laugh at it.
Yep.
The Syrians that are in Europe right now, they're laughing. They're going, ha, ha, watch us take you.
Yep, that's yeah, totally. That's it's inevitable. I mean, every society starts to collapse. I mean, whether provoked or unprovoked. I mean, it's just the way it goes, man. I mean, it's just I find it's going to be really interesting for America and most Western countries on why monogamous relationships were embedded for the past 2,000 years.
Yeah.
That's going to be the most interesting thing I'm going to find is how that's going to collapse right in front of us in our lifetime. That's going to be really interesting.
Well, have you reproduced already? Have you had children?
No,
Okay.
nope.
Okay, good. I have, and I have to worry about that now. Like I have to think, like, holy
Yeah,
shit, what the fuck?
yeah.
What am
You
I gonna
worry about his future.
Yeah, I have to worry about his future, and every day I have to worry about that, man. I mean, that makes me a part of who I am right now, and I have to think, like, holy shit, like
Yeah, but where's the rest of your community? Do you have a community? Do you have
I have a family, and I have a community, but the community, it's weak. It's very, very weak.
It's very weak. Yep. It's again. It goes back to the individualism. It goes
Yeah.
back to all the things we're talking about again.
Well, like when
And
I
was that by design? Is it because of the computer? Is it because of technology? I mean, there's a lot of different ways of looking at that.
yeah, a lot of different ways of looking at it. And I'll tell you, man, like I didn't plan. Obviously, I didn't plan this, but it happened, right? And now I have to deal with it, and I have to do it the best way I can. But I understand that. Look, I made my decisions. I made my decisions. And maybe they weren't the right decisions, but the point is I have another blood body that I got to take care of. And I understand what's happening. I see what's coming down the line. Like, how am I going to prepare him for that? You know?
I just teach him everything you know. I mean, that's your best bet. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all you really can do.
That's all you can do, man. I mean, think about your father. Like, what did your father teach you?
My father didn't really. He was more of a friend. My father. He wasn't really a father figure in a lot of different. He was more of a friend. We had a lot of differences growing up, and now that I'm back from Cambodia, I've kind of developed more of his personality. So we had a lot more things in common. But I've definitely learned through him, and I'm serious about this, not to get married because
Yeah.
he's now married twice, and I've seen him completely fall apart as a human being, at least with his second marriage.
That's so horrible, man. To see that is horrible.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't seem to realize it. I don't know if he does or not, but it's a little bit scary and nerve-wracking to see him self-destruct, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
But you still have him there, right? He's still he's still there. He's still an
He's
influence on your
hanging,
life.
yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. He's definitely going to help me hopefully get my own place very soon. So things like that. 'Cause the cost of living is really bad, and it's not easy in the West. That's another thing I'm starting to realize is how much guys can't progress because they don't even have their own space
No.
living in America.
Absolutely.
Girls don't want to fuck no guy living in mom's basement. It's basic. This basic you know, basic social construct, I guess, or something, whatever you call it. Women don't want a guy living with mom and dad. So, that's kind of adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man.
I mean, women don't really live on their own. They usually just live with their parents until they find a guy with his own place. With the cost of living and the cost of housing and stuff, that's adding to the problem.
Well, let me put it this way, man. When I married my ex-wife, they couldn't wait for her to fucking get married.
Get out of the house. Yeah,
Get
get
the
out of the
fuck
house.
outta here, man. They were just
Right.
like, finally, get the fuck out of here. You're 35 years old. Get the
Right.
fuck out of the house, please. They were just like, hey, okay, who wants to marry her? You do? Okay, go. They couldn't wait, man, because that's what they do. As a woman in those countries, they're just a burden on the family the whole time.
Well,
They're a
they
burden.
still are here too.
Yeah.
Even the guys are. I mean, the guys are useless. They don't help their fathers with anything around the house or whatever. They don't do shit. Even
Well,
I'm guilty.
maybe that's the biggest difference. Maybe the biggest difference is that in the West, both children are a burden, but in the East, it's just a woman. And that's what they think. It's just like, please get this woman out of my house.
The woman is still a much bigger burden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, please marry this. Can you please? And they're like, oh, really? You're from Canada? Well, you're a normal guy. Can you just marry her? Get her the fuck out of our house, please? Because she's a burden. Because all my sons are gone. Can you please get this woman out of the house? I didn't realize that. I didn't understand how that worked. But in the end, it played a big impact on how I didn't succeed in my marriage. I didn't get that.
Well, see, she was 35 when you got married. Yes, is that what you're telling me?
No, she was about 5 years my junior.
Oh, that's right. Right. Okay.
So I would have been 30. Hold on, 32. She would have been 27, maybe around there.
All right, that's about a healthy age to get married.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, right? That's what I thought. That's why I did it. But it
Yeah, I
didn't
think
matter.
late 20s. For a guy, it should be late 20s, early 30s. For women, it should be like, I guess, as young as possible, but no older than like 30.
Yeah, yeah. And she had an older sister who was like 3 years her senior who hadn't been married yet. So you got to understand, her family was like, thank fuck.
The pressure was on.
Yeah, they were like, thank fuck, somebody's gonna marry her. Get her the fuck out of her house, please. Because they got two older women, right, living off of their house, and they got like, and all the brothers were younger. So all the brothers were younger. There's like, they all have like 5, 6, 7 kids, all of them, right? So two oldest women. The oldest didn't get married, but the second I married, and they had 3 younger brothers besides that. And when I married her, and none of them have been married before. So when I married her, they were just like, holy fuck, woohoo! Get married. I don't give a fuck who you are. Get her the fuck out of her house, man. Please. Please get out of our house. Like, all our children are adults, and we need to like try to survive in this third world country. So please take this woman away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. That's what it was, man.
All right, so why don't we? It's getting late over here. Why don't we do this again soon? All right. If you want to do it next weekend, let me know. All right.
I will. I love talking to you, man. I love talking to you. You have great opinions.
Yeah, I'm just crazy. I just thought I'd get really tired out of nowhere.
Me too. Me too.
All right, so we'll chat during the week, and it's been a pleasure. We'll hook up again. All right.
We will. I promise you that.
All right, man.
Have a good night.
You too. Take care.
Bye bye.